So now you want to come to Thailand. The do's and don'ts about visiting here next year. First off, I gotta say salute to all my new members and subscribers. Y'all been coming through for your boy.
Fire! The kosher clinician. I told you guys that needs drive behaviors, and when men are not getting their needs met, they create behaviors to more or less parallel a new reality that can help them get the outcomes that they want. We're going to have a conversation today as we talk about the importance of world travel. As I told you guys that there are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become optimized, and world travel is one of them. But to add to the story, we got my man Richie Mac, the travel OG, that's going to be joining us today in this critical expose about the degreasing of the mind. But I would be remiss to say if I don't talk about the man that started, or more or less played a major role in travel, my man and then my dear friend Al Greeze. We're going to use and talk about 2 juggernauts. Al Greeze talked about Frustrated 1, Frustrated 2, and Frustrated 3. And we're going to parrot that with my man Richie Mac, the travel OG, as we seek to explore solutions to help men get the best outcomes that they want. There was a term that was utilized by my dear friend, the Ingham Experience, talking about relationship capitalism. But now it appears that a term that I created called relationship inflation has been beginning to more or less impact how men see themselves in the greater context of the United States. Are men frustrated because of the lack of respect and honor that they feel they need in order to become better men? Have their schema been impacted by not having feminine women that more or less personify virtue? Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show as I bring it to you live from the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State. And I need you guys to remember this as I have the travel OG and the original Al Greeze, the creator and filmaker of Frustrated 1, Frustrated 2, and soon to be Frustrated 3. And go check out Frustrated 1 and 2 with brother Al Greeze. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. Are you ready to have your mind degreased? And are you ready to zoom, 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 zoom? Be well.
Next time on Zoom to Thailand. Have you ever thought about moving out of the U.S. to Thailand or the Philippines? Drop us a line. We can help. And while you guys are watching the credits, I'm going to be working on the next episode.
Without hearing any of the evidence, without actually doing any kind of review, the allegation is made, orders of protections are issued. Daddy then has a very strong uphill battle to get back on the playing field.
So he called me and cursed me out and saying that they taking da-da-da-da out of my check, how you think I'm supposed to live and all that. And then afterwards, I said to myself, thank you. Now I know that a check is coming.
I was gonna call him and say, hey, your license are suspended. But I considered all I was struggling and going through during those months. He wasn't paying and he thought it was cool. So I said, nah, I'm gonna let him find out when he find out. So he did find out and he did go to jail.
A lot of these guys who are being labeled deadbeat have been turned into a deadbeat dad by the system.
Overwhelming majority of these parents are not deadbeat, they're dead broke.
I'm mad not because of a ruling. I am mad because my rights have been stripped from me.
She got mad at things not related, but okay, I got you. Now you want to see it, let's go to court and get the paperwork done.
Whoever walks away with the kid and the money, you win. Whoever loses, they're mad as hell and they're not done with it.
There are women who think, he wouldn't be a bad catch. And if I get pregnant, then he's not going to leave me.
It's not right. I'm not the father. And I've proved it.
If you don't pay the child support you owe, we will garnish your wages, take away your driver's license, track you across state lines, and if necessary, make you work off what you owe.
Who told you that you can rise from the morass of your current situation? Who told you that you had to be a slave to the pain of your past? Who told you that you had to settle for mediocrity in this current culture called America? Who told you that you couldn't change your mind? Talk to me. Now's the time for empowerment. And I'm not the Reverend Knight. I'm the coach of clinician.
addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grab my hand, gave me the notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind.
4 in the morning, you got me up, all cause you need to talk. To 4 in the evening, wanna break up, say that you've had enough. I'm tired of talking, again and again, argue about everything. You are my darling, this kiss and make up, I know you wanna touch. You call me every night, call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say, we gon' be okay, we just gotta boom bada boom ba. I don't wanna fight, you know that I'm right. Baby, let me talk to your body. We gon' be okay, hear me when I say.
All right, guys, we about to drop some fire for your mind. I got 2 juggernauts. Fire for your mind. I told you guys that part of the evolution of masculinity is men getting their needs met within the contextual framework of America. But I got 2 juggernauts, 2 stalwarts, a brother that I respect highly, one in Al Greeze. But the second one is up and coming. He has eclipsed over 50,000 subs, and he is my man, Zoom to Thailand. We're going to have a powerful show on tonight, but I need you guys to get the likes up to the 18 that are watching. Share this content, subscribe to Zoom to Thailand. And we're going to have a powerful discussion on the empowerment of men, because part of masculinity is finding a solution. So, without further ado, I got my man Richie Mac, Zoom to Thailand. He's tired, guys. He's tired, brother. I feel bad.
What's up, Coach and Clinician?
And we got my man Al Greeze in the house, the filmmaker of Frustrated 1, Frustrated 2, and
Salute,
soon
brothers.
to be Frustrated 3. And by the way, we're going to have El Guapo in that movie. Shout out to my homie El Guapo. We're going to have Dr. Ron Neal in that movie. And of course, yours truly, the kosher clinician. So this is going to be a very powerful show tonight, guys, because I believe in the empowerment of men. I believe that men should have the right to live their lives on their own terms, free of impingement, and not be shamed into silence as they make choices and do things that are best for them. So without further ado, Richie, tell the audience who you are and why are you so passionate about men zooming to Thailand? Go ahead, brother.
You said passionate about men. You left the pause there.
No.
Hold up. Hold up, because you know how you say stuff about Thailand as it is. I mean, we can't
yeah.
that one.
Oh yeah, no.
So funny. Before we get started, man, I want to say a shout out to you, Coach of Condition. I admire you very much. I know you had a loss in the family. I want to give a shout out to you and your family, and much love for you to be able to come in and just do your show and keep things moving. It takes a lot of tenacity, so I really appreciate you. I'm glad to be on your show, and thank you very much. Now you ask me a question, right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Why am I passionate about it? Because like I say in my show, like, you don't have to settle. Like, we settle because we don't know any better. You know what I mean? Right. Not to say there's not good women back home, because there are. But I'm saying, basically speaking, let me turn this TV off. I was watching that. That's my Coach Collision. You see that? That's my boat videos, because that's what I'm envisioning. I'm working this hard because I want to get me a nice little 50-foot yacht one day. So I watch it every day. I watch my boat videos every day.
We're gonna help you get it.
get to this yacht. Yeah,
we're gonna help you get it. I got some brothers now that's gonna be coming to Thailand, so we're gonna help you get it.
God
Go
is
ahead.
good. Yes.
No
So,
doubt.
I just believe that you got to go where your happiness is. You don't have to settle for anything. Like I'm not a big genius or nothing. I figured this out on accident. You know, I was in the middle looking for property out here. Right. The pandemic, I don't know if you can say that word, but the beer virus hit. And I said, well, I'll just sit here and wait it out, you know, for a month or two, you know, not realizing that I would be here going on 2 years now. It's the 2-year anniversary I've been in Thailand. Right. And I tell you, Coach Clinician, I don't miss anything about the U.S., man. The only thing I miss is my kids, my friends, and my dog. But that's why I have a 3-bedroom apartment. So if they want to come out here and come hang with my kids are grown. So if they want to come out here and spend time with daddy, they can, you know, friends, everybody. So, you know, I see so many good brothers, especially like, I feel like my subscribers are the best subscribers. Like, you know what I mean? Like TLA got the best super chat, but I got the best subscribers. I get nothing but love and support whenever I post things, and it's just a blessing, man. So my passion is to give back. So whatever I'm experiencing, I would love for you and everybody else to experience. I know you're married, and it's a family-oriented place as well. So, yes, sir. Man, this thing on. Do you hear this blinging with my I keep giving me alerts, and I don't know why. I don't know how to stop it, but hopefully that's not.
It's okay, no problem. I'm not sweating.
Annoy the crap out of you. But yeah, so that's where I'm coming from, you know. And you've been talking about me getting together with you and Al Greasy. You've been talking this up for a minute. What an honor to have Al Greasy, because after looking at Al Grease. Because after looking at his intro, I went through the exact same thing. What he's saying, like, my story is probably worse than any story he had in his documentary, because I went through it because my ex was an attorney. Right. So I went through all of the lowdown stuff that just totally unnecessary, unwarranted. But hey, you know what I mean? Everybody does things the way they do things. Shout out to my ex-wife. She's the mother of my children. I love her to death, and I hope nothing but the best for her. But we had a very unnecessary divorce. So I can't wait to hear what Al Greeze has to say and talk about this. I hope I answered your question.
well, you did a great job, man. I know you're tired, man, but I really appreciate your tenacity and your stick-to-itiveness. And so, you know, we're going to talk about the burgeoning frustration of Western men in America. And guys, to this 27 that are watching, guys, we should have at least about 200 people in this chat tonight. You got two of the biggest juggernauts that are advocates for travel, but also advocates for male empowerment, and that's Al Greeze and my man Richie Mac. So I need you guys to get the likes up, share this content, share the link, go share it to at least 5 to 10 people. We want to get the men invigorated about the things that are vital for male empowerment. So I need you guys to share this information, share it to 5 to 10 people, and we're going to have a powerful conversation, because Al Greeze and also Richie Mac are advocates for men having the right to self-determination. So Al Greeze, why are American men frustrated in America? We've done several shows together. You and I have traveled to the beautiful plains of Brazil. I'm going to be in your movie Frustrated 3 at some point. And so why are American men frustrated? And let's talk about the struggles you had with dating in modern times and also in relationships.
First, let me shout out to Richie Mac. Man, good to meet you, man. Good to be on the chat, be on the video with you. First things first, man, you got to put some respect on my name. It's Al Greeze, not Greasy.
I caught myself saying that. There's somebody from my neighborhood that we call Al Greasy. So that's where it came out. Forgive me. Al Greeze in the building. Let me correct myself. Put some respect on that name. It's Al Greeze. You understand me?
I appreciate that. First thing first, man. Yeah. I noticed you caught yourself as you continued on, man. But yeah, you got to put some respect on that. Number 2, yes, man. Hey, my condolences to you, man. Good brother, on your loss and your family, man. My condolences to you and your family, man. Appreciate it. And I'm having little technical difficulties here, man, but I've been suffering with migraine headaches lately, man, and I think it's a result of being here too long in the Matrix. So it's starting to fuck with my psyche a little bit, man. I'm starting to get migraines and stuff, man. So I've been kind of on a low like that. Forgive me if I'm not as sharp as I'm normally am, but I've been suffering from migraines a little bit, man. So yeah, I would get that out the way. What was can you repeat your question, brother? I'm sorry, Seth.
So no, you're fine, man. So I asked the question, why are men frustrated in America? We've had these conversations in the past.
It's the same way why people are obese here. you get poor choices in food. So the food source has been contaminated. So you got no choice. You think that's all you have to eat. So you've been subjecting yourself to a poor diet, and you wonder why you got bad health. And it's something similar to that. You know what I mean? So but for me, when they look at women, it's like when I go grocery shopping. If you look at a package on the shelf, it look good until you read the ingredients, and you find out there's all that garbage in there, and you put that shit back. So when you want good quality food, you got to go somewhere else. Now, it may cost you a little bit more, but your health, you just care your health, so you may pay a little bit more. I noticed that when I started traveling. When I went to Brazil, food source was good, different quality of woman there. Now, I'm not saying all here, but I'm saying different quality of woman, and their basics is based on something else than what I saw here. So when I realized that, I threw that shopping cart I had, threw that shit out the store. It got me it got my passport, so I travel over there, and I found a better outcome.
Right. And guys, I need your help because when I do shows like this, I don't know why people get mad. I don't get it. Richie's an excellent brother, good brother, and what they don't understand, Al Greeze have dated women in America, and Richie was married to a sister in America. But Richie and Al, it appears that anytime we have these conversations, people get befuddled. I start losing subscribers. So I need you guys to share this content with good men because it happens every time. It doesn't fail. Every time I have these shows about male empowerment, you start losing subscribers. And it's weird because I believe that every man should have the right to self-determination to live their life on their own terms. There are women that are listening. I feel like you have the right to live your life on your terms as well. If you can't get what you want here in America, part of relationship capitalism, shout out to my man, the Ingram experience, is to go places where you can get the best outcomes. Yes. So I don't understand this formality of Greeze and also Richie Mac. Anytime we have these shows, I know you was on Guapo's show in the past, it's a lot of acrimony when it comes down to men getting the outcome. So we're gonna delve into it, but I need you guys to share the content because I always get hit in the mouth anytime I talk about male empowerment and world travel. And it's weird because, as I say, as a licensed therapist, we utilize a concept called the right to self-determination. So it would be remiss of me to tell men to this, stay in areas or cities where they don't get the best outcomes. When they tell me in private that they're frustrated, they're tired of being disrespected. So I tell them to keep shopping in a wasteland that many call that's not giving them the outcomes that they want. So I need you guys to share this content because, as I said, there's going to always be caveats anytime black men begin to travel. Well, why the acrimony, Zoom to Thailand and Al Greeze? Why the acrimony?
I can jump in on that. It's the funny thing is, it's like, you just told me the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. You're saying I want you to hear what you just said. Right. You said you're losing subscribers because people are choosing to travel and enjoy their life.
Exactly.
That has to sit there for a minute. That to me is part of the problem why we're having this problem at home, because instead of a lot of the women, not all, but a lot of the women like listening to what we're crying out about and the things we're saying about, they just tune out. And with that type of reaction, how do you think it's going to end up? It's just going to get worse and people are going to keep on traveling, because I say this all the time. Our first love is black women. You know what I mean? And women in the States in general. But it's like, we're here to discuss our situation. You're telling me you're losing. You're losing.
Hey, brother, a lot of you not. I need you to share with your people when the show is over.
Absolutely.
To get them back. Share it because, share the show too because, I put the link in your channel and on your community at some point. But yeah, every time I do these shows talking about Brazil, when I had Greeze on you, the subscribers are dropping, which is weird because they get mad that black men are exercising their options to live their lives on their own terms. And as I said earlier, I believe that men and women both should have the option to live their lives. But it appears that black men in America are supposed to be servants. Shout out to Dr. Tia Son Johnson as he talks about ConcuServes, and I call it the commodification of subjugation. But it's crazy, and I think Greeze have seen it too, and he's going to talk about it a little bit. But before we do that, let's start with Zoom to Thailand. What were your frustrations with marriage, dating, and Western women? And when did your de-evolution begin? And then we're going to take it to Brother Al Greeze.
My frustrations is being in the entertainment business and being an actor and coming up, in the golden era of Hollywood with, you know, with the Robert Townsends and the Keeney Ivory Wayans and the Hollywood Shuffles and all that stuff. Having women was never an issue. You know what I mean? Right. And that kind of like comes with the territory. So that was never the problem. The problem, and it's the same everywhere. It's picking the right one. You know what I mean? Like we pick what we like, what we see. Just like Al Greeze said, you know what I mean? Yeah, we like what's on the outside, but then when you got a Ferrari on the outside, but it's a Volkswagen under the hood, you know, it takes a while to figure that out because our physical attraction takes over everything initially. So it's always been frustrating, not always, but it's been frustrating for the fact that everything to me in the States, like I feel so bad for y'all because everything just seems upside down. Like looking from over here in Thailand, looking at the US, it just looks insane what y'all are going. It looks insane. Like I can't even believe I lived in that. Like I don't think I'll ever live in the US again. Like, and I don't feel bad about that. I'll visit, but to live, I don't care because the frustrations just are the same, man. It's like, you know, a lot of women feel they deserve everything for absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
You know
Say it again. Say it again, brother. Say it again.
I feel they deserve absolutely, and they can do absolutely nothing. Like basic things like cooking. Like, you know, if you're gonna bear children to a man or have a family, like that's just like a basic thing. Just like a man, his basic thing is to protect, to provide and protect. We don't get a medal for that. That's what we're supposed to do. But if you say that to a woman, a lot of women, not all women, that becomes a problem or an issue. And it's just, a lot of them become so empowered for having absolutely nothing but, you know, that thing that we go after. That's, you know, it's just, it's so frustrating. And then when brothers like Al Greeze and myself realize when you go somewhere else, you don't have to deal with that. It's like, and why would you? You know what I mean? Like, why would I deal with something I don't have to deal with? Maybe if I was in a prison and the prison guard was the only option I had, hey, you all right? Al Greeze, he said he got headaches. You all right, Al Greeze? You good?
I'm good now, man. I'm good. Sorry about that, man. I'm having some difficulties over here. I'm trying to get this thing right, man. I apologize, man.
I thought you fell out. I was like, Al Greeze. I mean, I said, Coach Commission about to have the highest ratings ever. He got Al Greeze falling out in the middle of the.
Hey, but listen, hold tight, guys. Listen,
okay.
Listen. I need you guys. Listen, guys. There's only 40 people. That's nothing for what we got. We got two juggernauts. I need you guys to have this chat at least about 200, man. I need at least 5 people to share, 10 people to share this content. Share it to your brothers and tell your friends to share it. I'm doing this for you guys. As I told you, I lost my sister, but I still want to keep going so that I don't get sad. So if you guys would be so grateful, share this content now. Share it because it don't get no better than Richie Mac and Al Greeze. And part of empowerment is men having conversations. So I need you guys to share this content. We need to get this room up to 200 at least tonight because I want to empower the brotherhood. But go ahead, Richie. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Coach Clinician, they're not listening to you. I mean, Coach Clinician is like I just hit it off with him immediately. You know what I mean? It's like this brother gives you a sense of peace, of calm. He explains he's a gentle giant. It's like I think you're gonna find your groove. I think even if we get to 40, I'm happy with whatever we get because we're speaking to people, and then this message is gonna continue to live on because you're gonna repost it and people will get to it. You know, I think. You know what we have to do collectively is just bond together, be together. Like we got to support Al Greaze's documentaries. I can't wait to see it because I know it depicts my life. Watching you, Coach Clinician, I always learn something. But
I appreciate
to answer yeah, absolutely. But to answer your question, like the frustration is I think it's I didn't realize. I thought it was just me. Like I really like took it personal. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't realize that we all have been accepting less than what we deserve in a lot of situations, a lot of cases. But I still think there's still good women out there. There's good Black women out there. It's just the fact that a lot of the younger ones are getting taught wrong because I believe Al Greeze, Coach Clinician, I believe it stems back to the 70s. I believe that the daddies, it goes back on us. We got to take our responsibility. You know, my brothers weren't exactly the best role models for their kids, taking care of their kids. And then they had kids. And then they had kids. And if nobody's there to teach like grandma taught us, Big Mama, grandma taught us, we lose something each generation. And I think it's degenerated a lot to something that's just it's just not even acceptable behavior. You know what I mean? On both sides. So that's my frustration, just because I don't see any way out. I don't see it getting any better. I see it just continuously degenerating, and that's the part that's scary.
Yes,
So,
sir.
you know.
I agree with you 100%. Let me sell out these super stickers real quick. Shout out to my man, Top Gun. I'm starting it off a small price of admission for $1 million worth of knowledge. And
that's a bet,
right?
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
We got two juggernauts.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
With a $20 super sticker, so no doubt, man, we got some.
Jenkins!
Yeah, I love
that's
that.
a good dude. Hey, he's a good dude. He's always helping and donating to smaller channels. Keith Jenkins, shout out to you, man. I was on what was on last night? I was on I'm only have 3 hours of sleep. I was editing all night. What was I on with Keith Jenkins? What was I on with? It wasn't lead. I can't remember. I don't want to slow down your thing.
No, you're fine. Was it probably a love crossing borders?
No, Dre was up. I missed Dre. No, it was not Dre. I would have remembered Dre. I just can't think of who it was last night. I don't know if it was because I've been jumping on everybody's streams trying to get on and support everybody. I can't remember. I went to sleep. I don't remember. Maybe it was lead attorney. I can't remember. But anyway, right. Hopefully that answers your question. I want to hear Al Greeze. I want to get the Al Greeze experience.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you, brothers, man. Listen, man. Something to echo what you said, man. Listen, it ain't about how many views and shit you got, man. It's that one person that watches this and listens to this and you have an impact on their lives. And somebody who get up from the table and say, you know what, man, let me go get my passport. Let me go apply for passport and let me go travel. Let me see what these guys are talking about. That's the one I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about just people, running their trap and these guys are crazy, whatever, because they haven't experienced it. And like for you and for me, it came from out of the blue, just having to go travel to experience something and come back and just want to share the knowledge and the information with people, let them know. I love black women. Then I found out that America is not the only place that have black women.
Right.
You can travel outside, you find black women all over the place. And I was like, I had to get my rubbing my hands on. I was like, ooh, they all over like this. I'm out of here. So once I got my freedom papers, that's what I call the passport. Once you got the freedom papers, man, and a good brother, man, that passed, Charles Tyler. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but Charles Tyler, man.
I've heard of him. I've heard of him. Educate me on Charles Tyler. You're like the fourth person that's mentioned him.
Charles was inspired by Frustrated. He saw the film I put out, got inspired by it, and built a whole community when it wasn't popular at the time on Facebook, and brought tens of thousands of brothers in and shared with them, man, the knowledge of, this is what Al Greeze is talking about. Let's get passports. He challenged brothers to get passports. He did that, and then from there we were able to put group trips together, because you get a lot of brothers that sit on the sideline who's used to standing on the corner and not adventurous and want to go out on their own and step out on their own, and we eliminate the fear from that. So listen, man, we apply group trip. You can come hang out with Al Greeze. You can hang out with Charles Tyler. You can hang out with Gerald, a lot of good brothers that we have in the group from all over, and being a part of that, man, and seeing I have had grown men. That's what I'm saying to you, grown men who have inspired to go out there in Brazil and happen to be out there, cry, look at me, turn around, cry, and hug me to build. I was like, hey, bro, you all right, man? Man, listen, man, I didn't know it was like this. Thank you, brother. And change their lives and having that impact on their lives. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm concerned about. I have seen grown men just break down and cry when they realize what was out there, what's available out there to them, and then versus in the States. And I've seen the joy on faces.
Right.
And I've watched brothers change their whole ideology on life, come back here and say, you know what, from an economic standpoint, how my money can go back over there. I was in Thailand too, brother. When I realized I can get custom suits made for like $50, $75, hey, let me have it. Let me have it, and realize how far your money go out there. And I've watched brothers change their lives and change their whole ideology on life and looking for something better. And the crazy part about it is, man, from doing shows like this, you think people ain't listening, but they listening. I've had women hit me up and say, listen, me and my husband, because of the quality of life, and you talk about other places, we're looking to relocate because of the pandemic, and now you could work at home, and they're finding out that we could work from somewhere else and have a better quality of life. Somewhere else. So at the end of the day, man, you're doing good work, man. So don't worry about that. Just worry about the one individual, man, that watches this show and you have an impact on it.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you why, and you're right, Grease, but you know, when you have two phenomenal people like yourself and Richie Mac and the wealth of knowledge.
No, but hold on. It's like he's in the movie business too. It's like you go back. I can say, hey, man, did you see this movie? He said, what movie was that, man? I could take like Next Day Air. Did you see Next Day Air? You're like, nah, man, that had old boy in there from Power that had this. You go back and check it out. You can always go back and check it out. And you say, oh man, that was an excellent movie. Sometimes we don't know who's in it. You know, you tell the names and then they go back. You can always go back now. You put this up on the YouTube, on your channel, they can always go back.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And that's what we got to share. Go ahead, brothers. Go ahead.
I was just saying, this will outlive all of us. You know what I mean? Once your stream goes up, it's up there forever. So yeah. Like, you know.
Can always go back. Now, Richie Mac, one thing I want you to clarify, man, because when I was out in Thailand, man, and you know, I'm looking at you, man, this first time I've seen you. So we about the same little shade, man. Shade of color, man. I caught hell out there. Because I was told I wasn't black enough. I wasn't dark enough, man. And the guys I was traveling with that were dark skinned, black, I'm talking black, dark skinned, big brothers, 6'2", 200 pounds, whatever. They was getting love. I seen people walking through the mall and they ran out of restaurants, run out of stores and taking pictures of these guys like they was, you know, like movie stars. And have you noticed that? I mean, you know, the darker your skin, stuff that we ridicule brothers here for, you know, you black so-and-so, or you black, they get love for that over there.
Well, you know what, my experience has been wonderful. You know what I mean? Like I said, like people like, you know, why don't you talk about the negative stuff? Why don't you talk about the things that don't work? Why don't you talk about the people that whatever? And it's like, that's not my experience. Like I choose to talk about my experience and what I'm dealing with. If I deal with something negative, maybe I'll talk about it, but I just choose to always stay positive, stay loving. In terms of like light skin, dark skin, my brother Teddy, you know, I don't know if he's watching, but Teddy's tall, dark, and yeah, they love him. You know what I mean? But I think it's overall foreigners in general. Like, I don't think we're just all foreigners to them. I don't think they look at like race as much and color and skin hue as much. I don't think, but I could be wrong. Like your experience is different than mine. And me, I'm locked up in the house editing all day. I stay in this room 6 days a week unless I'm golfing. Like after I leave this, I'm going to play golf. Like other than that, then I'm right back getting these episodes in because I'm doing it by myself. For the most part, I got my guy Vitaly who helps me with the titles. But my experience has been terrific. It's like Burger King out there. You have it your way. You know what I mean? Like whatever you desire. You know, before I settled down with Noodle, it was like, you know, it was like I was like Jim Kelly and Enter the Dragon. You know, I want you and you and you. It was kind of that experience. You know what I mean? I was a single man. I was freshly divorced. I was having it my way. So to answer your question, it's been great for a light-skinned brother like me, and it's great for dark-skinned people. It's just great for brothers, period, because they look at us as what they seen on TV. They think we're all either athletes or entertainers or something like that because they give you the benefit of the doubt because you have to have something going on about yourself if you done made it all the way to Thailand. So they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt just for the trip itself. So it's up to you to take it from there and take it to the next level. Now, your experience was what now, Al Greeze?
I just saw the reaction that they had with the dark skin brothers who I was with. They just gravitated to them and showed up. I mean, so much love. You know, now listen. My daddy told me when I was young, you know, I was ugly, and he apologized to me for that. He told me I had to work hard. So I don't operate off of that, but you know, I got words, I got game, I could maneuver through anything. So I had a great time out there. By all means, trust me, I had a great time out there, and I had a great experience out there. But I just saw how they gravitated towards those lights, the dark skin brothers, and the bigger they were, big brothers, man, they were just gravitating and treating them like movie stars. And
well, I've heard it, Grease. We talked about it, Rich. Remember, we were saying in some parts of Thailand that the darker you are, they see you as a god. So we talked about it.
See, I don't know. Like I know they have like dark Buddhas, like dark like Buddha statues. I have some of those in my show because I was really intrigued by that because I didn't know. I thought all the Buddhas were gold. You know, I didn't know they had black Buddhas. Like I went to a black temple up in Chiang Rai when I went to Chiang Rai a couple of weeks ago, and I saw they had a white temple, they had a blue temple, and they had a black temple. and they were all different things. Of course, the White Temple was the most glorious one, but that's all good. They were all, but they pay homage to black people or to black. I don't know how they view it, but yeah, I guess that means Coach Condition would take all the women if he wasn't married. He came out here.
You know what I'm saying? I ride with him.
Yeah, see, I'm short, and that's what another thing I love. Like, they don't discriminate. Like, in my opinion, you know what I mean? They don't care if you're short, old, skinny, fat, light, dark. You know, they like you. They like you. Of course, they like the fact that, you know, they think you financially cool, and that's the main thing I think the women out here want. The main thing they want is just to be financially stable, and it's not a lot to make them financially stable. So it's not like, you know, a big deal as far as I'm concerned. It's like they look for stability. We want a beautiful woman to take care of us. And to me, it's a fair trade. You know what I mean? Because that's the way it's always been. You know what I mean? Women want stability.
Yeah, I agree. One of another experience I had out there, man, met a young lady, took out to dinner. Mm-hmm. And I took my time fumbling over the menu. Wasn't sure what I wanted to order. And she knew what she wanted right away. So they brought her food out. I ordered a little late. So when they brought the food out, she sat there. She wouldn't touch it. And I said, no, you go ahead, get, you can go ahead and eat. She said, no, I'll wait for you to get yours. I said, well, you ain't got to wait for me to get mine. She said, you pay for the meal. The least I can do is wait for you to get yours. And we can eat together. So I was like, okay. So my food came. I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest out of 7 kids. I got 4 older brothers. And we all range around 200 pounds. You know what I mean? So back then, if you didn't eat fast enough, they would go on your plate.
Right.
My pops was like, well, shit, you sitting here messing around. They go on your plate, take your food. So I eat fast. From that, I ate fast. When I was eating, man, she slid her plate across. She's like, you want mine? So I took offense to that. Like, what you saying? I'm greedy or some shit? She was like, no. I see you enjoyed the meal, and I didn't know if you wanted mine. You could have mine. You can have mine. So then I started really taking a look at the culture there. And I was like, wow, this is how the women here are, and this is how they, treat their men towards their men over there. So I was real heavily intrigued until, my dark skinned friend rolled up and the game was off there. They're like, oh, look at him, take pictures.
let me that's funny, man. Grease funny. Let me send a shout out to my man Alton Pryor. Give me a hold tight, guys. With the $25 super stick. I don't want to forget him. That brother was so generous. I can't even find it. Where did it go at? Let me find Alton Pryor for that $25 super sticker. Thank you.
That's a deal, right? That's a
great
deal,
show.
right?
I'm retired military.
Right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
So anything for all the work you 3 men are doing. And that's why I do what I do. Because it makes me happy when I see Al Greeze smile and get the outcomes that he wants. It makes me happy to see Richie Mac get the outcomes that he wants. When I talk to men in private, it makes me feel good because I love seeing men having the right to self-determination, to live their lives on their own terms. And, I've dealt with men dealing with depression. I've talked with young men with consultations telling me about the things they went through as men. And so in the clinical world, guys, we call this a universality of brotherhood, when men come together and we coalesce and we talk about our struggles and our stories that's caused us to be debilitated. So when I can see, Richie Mac get the outcomes that he wants, he's happy, I'm happy for him. And Al Greeze as well. And, it's weird to me because some of the women say they love, they love brothers. Well, if a sister can get a man, can't find her man here, it doesn't bother me if she get a man from another country. I'm happy for her. But the difference is this. American men are so egalitarian, you don't have those same privileges outside of America as you do here in America because American men are so egalitarian. What's your take on that, Al Greeze and Richie Mac, about the egalitarian nature of American men?
Go ahead, Al Greeze. You get that?
Go ahead. You can hit it first.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I got you. No. You. I was waiting for you to jump in. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, after you, brother. Coach Clinician be using them big words. I be having to put it together. I don't know if I can say egalitarian, but I'm trying to say
equal.
I guess
equal.
I have an ego.
Equal.
I just think that things have been run amok for so long that the abnormals become normal. You know what I mean? And so it's just like it's still not clicking to me that you're saying people are upset because people have found their happiness. Like you said, Coach Clinician, it's like when a woman does that, when Stella gets her groove back
Boom.
You know, everybody's surprised when they want to blow up somebody's car and wait to exhale. Everybody is excited and happy. But when a brother's excited and happy, then all of a sudden it's a problem. You know, I just don't get that. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. Coach Collision, I'm not sure how to answer that question correctly, but I just feel once again we're just out of order. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line.
It's a culture where we haven't been taught to value our men. That's partially it. It's part of also deliberate indoctrination, and many have not seen masculine authority. But on that positive note, guys, we got my man. I call him where velvet meets the road. Shout out to my man.
Right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal,
Shout out to
right? That's a
Guapo.
deal, right?
Hey,
Where
let me-
velvet meets the road.
I can't wait.
And Grease.
I gotta speak on El Guapo. Like I just gotta jump in real quick for this. Get this man his flowers.
No doubt.
This
Good
dude
brother,
is
man.
the classiest dude. He's just smooth. He helped me when I was first trying to do my first live.
Right.
He's like he's definitely military because he's the one you want with him when you go into the trenches. Like he's the guy. He's just a solid individual, man. I can't wait to do things with him. We're gonna do some things together. So just had to give that shout out. You can read it. You can read it, Coach Condition. I just wanted to just get that person.
Oh, no. Just shout out to the fellas, Coach Zoom Grease. And you know, the crazy thing about, I told Grease about Guap, like I'm telling you. So I've been more or less a facilitator bringing good brothers together. I don't know if that's a gift that God gave me. But, we are fire signs. Guapo's a Leo. I mean, Aries, you're Aries, and I'm a Leo. Very passionate. We love people. And we're very, contagious with our charisma. Now, Al Greeze on the other end got that Virgo swag. He's very analytical. He analyzes everything. Paralysis by analysis.
Let me share something with Guapo. Let me show you why I love Guapo. Share with Guapo.
Yes,
I rented the studio out in DC area, Baltimore DC area, for Guapo to come in. I had a couple of interviews I had to do, and bringing Guapo in, and there was a couple of young ladies there that were monitoring the studio and watching to see what we were doing. So the first interview came in, it went so. And the guy was a little bit hesitant. I had to drag it, pull it out of the movie. When Guapo came in with the raw. He ran them out of there. I turned around. They were gone by the car. They called somebody else. We can't stand for this shit. You're going to have to send somebody up in here. They talking crazy. Hey, Guap was like, hey, man, I apologize. That's how I know I got something. You ran their ass out of here. So when like Malcolm said, when you throw a rock at a pack of dogs, one barking, the one that got hit. So that's why they ran out of here. So I knew I had something. So I love Guapo for that, man. You had to see it. I turned around. They were gone. They just left the studio, left us in there. We out of here.
Rob was the boogeyman.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it, man. But back to what you were saying, man. Like I said, I apologize, man. I apologize if I'm not as sharp as I normally am. Did stuff with the migraines. That's why I had, I deferred to you, man, because I had to let that marinate a little bit. What he was saying. Yeah. So he'd go, man, to the top of that, man. But if she can go out and get Dexter, if black women can go to Jamaica and go all these spots and go get Dexter, why can't I go get Dexter's sister? Why I can't go find Dexter's sister? Why I can't find happiness? Why I can't find happiness? So when they complain about that, but the one thing I want to expose the brothers, man, is when you travel, and like yourself, when you were just in the airport, when you travel international airports, you get different looks at you. They look at you just in the airports. Just if you ain't laying there, just going through them international airports, you'll get a different reaction. They look at you like, who's this dude? Who's this dude? Who's this dude? Watching you how you move. And when you land and get in the city and the kind of love and embrace you get, but once you get immersed in the culture there and you understand and they understand who you are and you understand what the value of who you are and what you can get, that changed the game. It's like if I could get Ferrari over there with Ford money here, shit, I'd take my money over there and go get me a Ferrari and live good. Yeah, why go, mess with this Ford? They're gonna keep bringing down on me. So once that's what I'm saying. I'm excited. We got another trip, group trip coming up, man. And I like to see the brothers when they get out and they get exposed and they first time out of the country and they realize their happiness, man, and they break down. Like I said, I've seen brothers cry. I've seen them break down. I had big smiles on their face, cheesing, and enjoying their life, man. So at the end of the day, it's based on the individual. If you're looking to have a good time, you're looking to change your life, this is the message that you need to hear from Richie Mac, myself. Get your passport, get out there, travel. If you don't like Thailand, you don't have to go to Thailand. You don't like Brazil, you don't have to go there. Go somewhere. Go somewhere.
Right.
I would just recommend staying out of the European countries. I would, because basically it's kind of Canada and the European nations is kind of similar to the nonsense that go over here. So I would just recommend going with women that are more traditional.
Right, no doubt.
You like Canada? I like Canada.
I went to high school, man, up in Amherst, was right across the border from Canada. So you only had to be 18 to go over there and actually party and drink and all that stuff. So we used to go over there, man, and you know, have our way with the white girls over there because we were excited. They couldn't wait to see us. So we used to go over there, and the white boys didn't appreciate that. So, you know, we got into a couple of scuffles with the Canadian boys up there a couple of times, but you know, it was fun because, you know, it was a good experience. But as you look at some of their institutions, man, as far as it relates to the court systems and all that stuff, it's kind of similar to here in the States.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
shout out to my man Alton Pryor for that $10 super sticker. Thank you, brother. He said you guys are so inspirational and needed in these days and time. And you know, I'm gonna tell you guys something. You know, I don't think that people realize what they have. You have a licensed clinical therapist from one of the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel State. Then you got 2 film producers, Al Greeze. Don't get no better than him. I'm going to do a show with him at some point, and we're going to pose the question, was he the first initiator of the current space that we live in? And it's going to, you know, with the evidence, you might say, I think Greeze really is the true and original father. If not the true father, he's definitely the spark plug. So we're going to talk about that. But also you have Richie Mac. And Rich, I want you to go back and talk about your formative years, but also your time in Hollywood. And how did Western culture shape Richie Mac to teaching him how to defer power as it relates to women and relationships?
Well, I don't know if I ever can defer power to a woman. Is that what you said? Is that what you said, KC?
Well, we all defer power subconsciously and sometimes on a conscious level. But how did Richie Mac defer his power? Meaning, you know, you been when you should have stood on your square as a man.
Yeah. Right. That was the initial stages of divorce, because, you know, most of the time, you know, women initiate divorce and men don't usually want that. You know what I mean? So I was trying everything to make things work. You know what I mean? I would take classes. We went to church. We'd have our pastor, Reverend Teray. He's huge now. He was just a puppy when we were together. So I deferred everything, but I realized the more I deferred power, the more weaker I looked, and the less she respected me.
Yes, right.
And that was like a big deal breaker for me, because I'm alpha all day long. So I felt like I was selling myself out, deferring power as it was. But when I saw, I got an even worse reaction. Like, acting is how I made my living. Like I've never worked a 9 to 5 like in my life. I think, well, I did when I was in high school. I worked at McDonald's. I worked all the menial jobs. You know what I mean? I worked at the Fox Hills Mall, and I was a popcorn dude. I did all the little stuff, and then I was a messenger. But once I became an actor and I started catching my groove, like after Hollywood Shuffle, I just went on to start doing a bunch of national commercials. So I just doing commercials for, you know, all the top, you know, billionaire company, you know, the McDonald's and the Coca-Colas and the Sprites and the beer commercials and everything. So I made a good living. So since then, I never really, you know, I knew I didn't have to settle, because I learned easy. Like, I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I'm not the most handsome guy in the world, but I do have personality and I can be funny. And that's a wall breaker for women. You know what I mean? You can make them laugh, you know, you cool in that regard. But after a while, you know, that only takes you so far. You know what I mean? You got to get into the depth of a human being's mind and spirit. And like I said, like, I wasn't, we're all defer power when we're younger because we don't know any better. We don't know any better, right? We think of women as like our mothers or our sisters. And, you know, we think they're delicate creatures and we have to handle them different. You know what I mean? But what I learned with a lot of women is that everything is the opposite. You know what I mean? If you're nice to them, they don't like you. If you're an asshole, they love you. You know what I mean? So I've learned that you have to stand on your square with women, because they might not admit it to you, but they respect you more if you stand on your square. So in regards to deferring power, at the, you know, towards the end of my divorce, you know, my wife was like, because I filed, you know what I mean? I just beat her to the courthouse because I seen the writing on the wall. Because every time I would defer one situation, okay, now you got to do this, and then if I do this, now you got to do that. If I do this, now you got to do that. After a while, I was like, hold up, man, this is not going to work. Now you set me up to do some goofy stuff that I'm not going to do, and I really and not only would I hate myself, but you're going to hate me for deferring. I was actually going to be a fireman, like because my ex-wife's uncle was a chief at the county fire department in LA, and I was going to do that just to prove, I don't just have to be an actor, because at the point, the disrespect started when she became an attorney and she started making more money than me, because I supported her through college, through going to law school and everything. And when she got to working in corporate America, I decided to, okay, now I want to go to film school, because I knew how to act, but I wanted to go to film school. I didn't understand what the terminology was for things behind the scene. I just knew how to be in front of the camera. So, I supported you, and then I wanted to go to film school, and she didn't want to give me no support. She was like, "No, I didn't sign up for that." And that just felt like the first hint of betrayal, because, there was nothing I wouldn't do for her. But once she got her job, things just started changing. Respect started dissipating a little bit. And once you lose respect, it's over. You know what I mean? People say love conquers all. Respect kicks love's ass up and down the street all day.
Right. Yes, sir.
It goes trust, respect, and then love.
Right.
You need those three for it to make sense. So she had literally lost respect for me, and that's when I knew I had to get up out of there. So I recommend to any man. I'm not saying be hard and be an asshole to women. Excuse me, Coach Kalisha, for using
you're fine, brother. You're right.
Words, but you have to be a man first, because whether they admit it or not, they will respect you for being a man. And when you defer to them too much, it's good to have a balance, but the scales start tipping. It turns to a whole nother thing, man. And they just go, because a lot of times the situation that I've encountered, with women, a lot of time they're a lot kind of like children. They're gonna test you. How much can I? And you're being tested, and we don't even know we're being tested. So it's a cat and mouse game. But as far as deferring power, I hope I answered your question. Started off as a kid, younger when you fall in love, but then as you get older, you try to do what you can to appease a woman, and then you try to do what you can to save the marriage. But at some point, you got to be realistic with yourself and stand your square. So that's what I did, and I had to get out. And I found out about Thailand during my divorce proceedings. I was in court. My attorney was telling me, man, I'm ready to retire. He goes, when I get out, I'm going to Thailand. I'm like, Thailand? What's in Thailand? He goes, man, you can get a suit for $60, like Al Greeze said. Now, personally, my suit cost me more than $60, but you can find places where you can get them like that. It depends on the material that you're using and all that stuff. So you can get them cheap. It goes up in terms of what the material you're using. But he had mentioned Thailand to me and how he was going to retire and move there. That's what put Thailand on the radar for me. It came as a visit, you know what I mean? Just to have fun with my guys, just traveling, because I love traveling. I've been all over the world, and I've never been to Asia. So Thailand came up, man, and I got out here and got hooked. But anyway, that's a whole another answer. But I hope I answered you, KC.
Right, no doubt. I think you did for the most part. You did an excellent job breaking that down, but a lot of times we've been socialized, Zoom to Thailand, to think the way our mothers want us to think. And many times we defer power. And you are correct. The love currency for a man is honor and respect. When a woman can learn to control her feelings and not violate what I talked about, the inner sanctum of a man, that's love to a man. And what many women don't understand is that many times they have not been conditioned to love a man. Al Greeze, you talked about something in a terminology called that feminine energy. Guapo called it an amplifier. I call it an oscillation. Oscillation is like a fan. It sprays like a perfume. I want you to tell the audience the first time you got that hit of raw femininity, what it did to your psyche and what it did to your mind. And then I want you, Richie Mac, to piggyback on what true femininity felt like to you when you finally got it as a man. Go ahead, Greeze. You there, Greeze? You froze?
He looked like he's concentrating. He looked like he's very focused and concentrated. I don't know if he got froze. He looked focused to me. But I'll jump in on that till he's ready to talk. I got my first dose of femininity at home in the States. You know what I mean? There are a lot of feminine women at home, and I love them. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't really until like hip hop came in that women started getting really, really hard. And I love it. I grew up, I'm from the era with KRS-One and where it all started in the Bronx in New York. You know what I mean? And came to the West Coast when we was wearing jerry curls. Like I'm through every single facet of hip hop. But once the tough females came in, that's when I started noticing a change with and not blaming it on hip hop. I'm just saying I'm just making my timeline, putting the timeline together. Right, so I got my first dose because we had options back then. You know, we could pick the feminine women, we could pick the gangbanging women, because I come from LA. You know what I mean? You had gangbanging women that was harder than some of the men. So you had options, but now it seems like the scale is just tipped. But when I came here, I mean, my girl just oozes femininity. I mean, if she spills something on the ground, oh, you know, I mean, I like that. I like a super feminine woman, man. I love it. There's nothing better than that. You know what I mean? Because like once again, I said from the alpha male standpoint, I don't want a alpha female. You know what I mean? Not to say that there can't be. I want a woman that's going to be a woman. Let's play the roles that God created. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know what I mean? Let's you be the woman, I'll be the man, and let's do our best at each. I'm gonna do what you expect out of me, and you do what I expect out of you, and let's get there together. So that's been my take on it. But you know, you there, Al Greeze? You was looking real.
I had some difficulties, man. I'm back online, man. I'm back online. Yeah. I apologize, man. I'm struggling, but I'm here.
Yeah, I get it. Coach Clinician threw you a lob. He threw the lob up nice. So it looked like you was
listen, like part of the battle is showing up. I'm here.
Absolutely.
I'm present.
Absolutely.
I'm present.
So yes, I was just stalling while you got there. Coach Clinician gave you a great alley-oop. So
yeah, I apologize, man. I missed that, man. I apologize, man. But let me just say this here. And Coach, you know, Seb, I call him Seb. Seb was out there with me, man. We was going to Brazil. We was looking at all, you know, being around all that feminine energy, and how that vibration, man, had a different effect on us, especially for me. Those my blood pressure, all that kind of stuff, man. And you know, and my friend that I got out there, man. And I like to test her. I like to push her and see how she responds. And how when she see me getting elevated, she just back, baby. I'll wait till you. Not now. Okay, I'll wait. No problem. Now, see, I was raised. My father, man, I grew up in a 2-family home, man. My pops was a no nonsense guy. And he ruled with an iron fist, and you know he didn't want to hear no nonsense. And watching Granddaddy on the other side, Granddaddy was always deferred to my grandmother, but Granddaddy was Granddaddy. Granddaddy did his shit, but you know, go to your grandma. But I watched how Granddaddy operated. He went up to work every day, did his own shit. Give grandmama here's a check, you take care of the bills, and Granddaddy did his own shit. And I watched it, but Granddaddy was good with his hands, fixed shit. He went to work every day. Grandma made his food. They fought all the time because that motherfucker would disappear every now and then. He come back home. They would fight. They would argue. They would fight. But Grandmama went back in the kitchen, cooked him a meal, made his food, did his lunch. He went off to work. But Pops on the other side with no nonsense. And my mother had to be with the program. My mother had to be with the program. And when even before I was born, he heard Malcolm and these guys speaking of how pork is bad for you, went and changed the diet. No more pork. We don't eat no more pork no more. Here's the money to go food shopping. Don't bring no damn bacon. Don't bring none of that in here. And Mama had to acquiesce to that. Here it go. And watch my grandmother fight, but she lost that battle. Well, my kids won't be coming to your house anymore because you serve pork and they don't eat it no more. And I watched, and that's what raised me. So when I went out there and got a relationship, I set the foundation. My father told me one thing: never live with a woman. Don't live in a woman's don't live in a woman's house. Get your own house. Bring her in there. Don't live in another woman's house. Don't let a woman control you or you be dependent on a woman. Be dependent on yourself. Be a man to set the foundation like that. So when I came out and got the date and went through that shit, and when you know, I grew up in New York, but I did, you know, when I went to Atlanta, went to school, went to Atlanta. You know, in my early 20s and stuff, that's when I started to develop manhood and stuff. And women out there would run that backdoor shit, you know, that backdoor pick. Well, I wasn't used to, you know what I mean? Like that, what the fuck? Where they go? They went by the back door, and like I felt, oh, you trying to play me? Okay, you think I'm this? So then I had to bring out the asshole in me. I'm gonna get me some respect, and I'm fortunate enough to have an older brother, man. My older brother, you know, he instill that in me too, man. Never let a woman disrespect. I don't give a damn how fine she is. And you got to get a good cut man. So I had a good cut man in my corner. And when I seen I was trying to get played, I was just cutting them off at the knees. cutting them off at the knees, and then you ran across that one that had a little game, and it got a little crazy until the law got involved. Once the law got involved, then I said, you know what? I'm out.
That's the biggest sign right there. Once the law gets involved, ain't no turning back from that.
Yeah.
Ain't no turning back. You know what I mean?
But once when I couldn't figure it out, and just like you said, just trying to see something new and got that passport, and a buddy of mine said, man, I went to Brazil. You ever been out there? Like, I don't know nothing about that shit, man. Go out there. You're gonna have a ball. Go out there. He took me to the caddy shop. And I went out there, that goddamn caddy shop, been hooked ever since. So
I love Brazil. I love Brazil.
As far as relationship, man, ain't nothing I want here but American dollar. That's all I want here.
Hey, hold tight. Hold your point, Green. I want you to finish talking. Let me read out these super stickers. Shout out to my man, Andrew Davis, for the $20 as a 20-year international traveler. I co-sign with these brothers, what these brothers are talking about. Once you're treated like a king, you ain't going to settle for anything less. Fellas, keep up the great work. No doubt, shout out to you. And shout out to my man, James Turner. He's an awesome
brother. That's a deal, right? That's a deal,
in Thailand with his son.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Boom, I'm ready to get degrees. Welcome, brothers, right. And so I came up with a term, guys, called the degreasing. And, when I think about Al Greeze and me being the kosher clinician because I'm fit and proper, I created a term called degrees. And degreasing comes from a degreaser. A degreaser is something you use to spray on the stain to modify or to clean the slate. And so when I think about Al Greeze, I call him the degreasing of the American male. So I use the term degrees to talk about Al Greeze because men need to be degrees from the mental toxicity that's more or less have been permeated inside their minds. And they need to realize, Richie and Al Greeze, that they have love, joy, and power outside of America. There are 5 elements that Dr. William Glasser talked about, guys, and he talked about power, fun, freedom, belonging, and survival. Starting with you, Richie Mac, what does power, fun, freedom, belonging, and survival mean to you as it relates to you getting your needs met as a man?
Well, power, number one, is being independent, being financially independent. That's where you get your power. Your freedom is when you get your passport, because where you can go anywhere you want. You know what I mean? Freedom is being able to move around and do what you want on your own terms. What were the other two, Coach Condition? You had 2 more?
Power, fun, freedom, belonging, and survival.
Fun is what you make of whatever your situation is. And I've been everywhere in the world, man. And it's like, there's different levels of fun. You know what I mean? Al Greeze can tell you, like, when you go to Brazil is like a black man's heaven, because what people don't understand is like black women aren't just in America. Black women are all over the world. And there's more black people in Brazil than there are in America. A lot of people don't know that. They think they're all Brazilians, but they're Africans, just like Africans. They went there first before they came to the U.S. So,
right.
And Coach Condition, I know you're married, but you've been to Brazil. You can at least look and see what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
What we experience. It's a beautiful place. So fun is where is where you make it, man. I heard, my brother 1MT, Think Smart Financials, love that guy. He talked about Kiev and all these different places, Poland, and like that's where he had fun. So, us as brothers, we need to just spread out and find where our fun is and travel and trust and believe that it's a totally different experience, a totally different treatment. And like I say to people all the time, when you go outside the country and you come home, America looks totally different.
Yes, sir.
From the time, just like Al Greeze said, our dude started crying. He was crying because it's unreal what he was experiencing. And he's also crying because he got to go back to what, to what he knows he don't want no more. He wants this life. It's like you give a dog food all his life and you give him steak. He's not going to want to eat the dog food no more. Not equating women to dog food. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. I
always got to clean that up because I don't want to make, because people will soundbite you to death. So I want to make sure.
Right. Yes, sir.
I put the asterisk so I'm just using analogies. But so fun is where you make it. And then what else did you say, Coach Condition? You said freedom. We did that.
Well, survival, but also belonging, because it appears, Richie Mac, that a lot of men are trying to survive. Al Greeze talked about the frustrated too. And a lot of men are trying to survive because of the ravages of child support court, but also many men don't feel like they belong. So I want you to talk about survival and belonging because many men are trying to survive. But before you tell me, I'm going to send a special shout out to my man, Mr. Gigi.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Thailand. Keep up the great work on encouraging brothers to get their passport. Money, together, and travel. I'm excited for Frustrated 3, and so am I. Rest in peace to Charles Tyler. Again, to Thailand. You are the new Charles Tyler of Southeast Asia. And that's, that's a high honor, man. That's a high honor, man, because it's all about bringing men together, man. You know, you talked about forming an impenetrable force. And one of the things, Richie and Al Greeze, that sometimes can deal with black men and men in general is our ego. You know, we let our ego stop us from keeping powerful movements moving. And so it's something I have to work on. I think it's something all men got to work on. I call it the penis measuring contest, where men, you know, I'm big time, you know. But the thing I love about you, man, you have a heart of gold, man, you know, and you are a masculine man, but you got a big heart, man, and you don't see that a lot of times in these spaces. You know, there are guys that are bigger, you know. So I'm not going on his platform, but he's smaller. But if I got 1,000, 100,000 subs, or 1 million, I'll go on somebody's channel that's smaller. I'm not going to change who I am, because that's just who I am. I have a big heart just like you, and I don't see the need just because I got more subscribers not to deal with another up-and-coming YouTuber when I know they got potential and I can help them out. So, you know, Al Greeze, let's talk about what it means to you. Power first, fun, freedom, belonging, and survival. Dr. Wim Glasser talked about those 5 elemental principles. What were you lacking, Al Greeze, as it relates to those 5 fundamental principles of power, fun, freedom, survival, and belonging?
Power is when I realized I didn't have control. When somebody else had control over my time, whether it be show up from 9 to 5, or you delegate to work these kind of hours and all that stuff. So I saw myself being limited. So when I went to film school and started making film, the power became in me. So whatever I decided to do, if I didn't work that day, if I didn't get up and come up with a film and all that stuff, then that's on me. So I had the power and control of my own destiny. So I decided to make films, and as long as I touch the hearts of the people or the films in the product that I'm putting out there, I'll never be broke. I'll never be broke. So that power meant for me, I had control, being in control of my own destiny of what it is that I wanted to do. Fun, you know, fun is what you make it for the individual. If you like hanging out on the corner or hanging out at the local club, that's fun to you. So be it. Fun to me was, you know, going and being exposed to new cultures, new situations, new environment, and knowing that, you know, I can go out to Brazil, but I went by myself, and I can go out and have a good time and make it back safe. And that was fun to me. Being exposed to new ideas, new ideology, that's fun to me. What's your other 3?
Survival and belonging. And also freedom.
Well, survival, once you have power and once you have control, and you know, and you're successful, at what you're doing. For me, I can only speak for me, that, you know, I'm surviving. I'm doing great. I take care of myself. I have plans. I've been out to, you know, other countries and stuff and made it back. I survived. It made me more confident. It gave me confidence in myself that I, you know, eliminate fear. I can go any goddamn way and show up, and I can have a good time. And so I eliminate the fear from that. So survival, I grew up in New York City, and you can survive here. You survive any goddamn way. So that was good for me. I'm sorry, brother. I need the last one.
Belonging. Many times black men in America, but American men don't feel like they belong in this current system called America. What's your take on the element of belonging?
To the American system? I don't know if you ever did belong to the American system. You're just citizens here, or just got citizenship. So I don't know how to take that question for saying belonging to this American system.
Well, it's a desire within all of us
to belong. If you have friendships, if you have friendships when you belong to your family, you know where you fit in and belong with your family. Damn American society, I don't want to belong in none of this shit. And that's why, people look at me think I speak radical, because I encourage brothers to get out and travel more and go see the rest of the world. I want brothers to be happy. I don't want you to feel like you belong to this shit and you can't make moves because you feel a sense of belonging to this that's failing you, that's making you frustrated, making you miserable, and giving you all the side effects of America. So belonging, I don't care too much about belonging. I look to belong with what my family think about me, close friendships, relationships that I have with good guys I met, man. Like I said, I'm part of Black Man's Option, a group of over 20,000 brothers, man. They embraced me, they took me in. And even when Charles passed, man, that was his thing, but they brought me in and it felt that I could be of use, and I belong to a group of strong brothers. So at the end of the day, that's what I want to belong to. But as far as belonging to try to fit into American society, I could care less.
No doubt. Shout out to my man Barry Hampton for that $5.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
And I agree with that 100%. And also shout out to My Thoughts of Freedom. Thank you again, brother.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Watch all your channels. Got my passport. I'm ready to catch flights. And then shout out to my dear friend, Shalakimia Moffitt. She got that airy swag, just like you and Guapo. She's a dynamic sister. I got much love and respect for her. And I look forward to doing some shows with her at the same time again. And Richie and Grease, I talk about something called a remnant. I believe there's a remnant of good women that are uncovered and have not been founded. And, because they are uncovered, many times these women are called, mammies. They're called pick me.
Where are these women, Coach? You talk about here in the States?
He said it, not me.
You talk about here in the States?
I said a remnant. A remnant is a small amount. I said a remnant. Yeah,
well, I want to clear, but you still got to clear that up. You talk about here in the States. There's a remnant of small women here in the States.
I think there's a remnant.
You want me to go search for 20, 30 women? Oh, you know why you said that? I got to go search for 20.
Listen.
You want to go search for 20, 30 women.
But listen, I said a remnant. I said a remnant. Some believe it's under 10%. I don't know. But, anecdotally, every man's experience is different. You from up top. Rich, I think you from Cali and Chi-Town. And, I don't know how much things have changed since we came out of high school. I came out of high school class of 90. I think, Richie, you and I around that 90, 92 time. Grease a little younger. Grease probably 94, 95. And Grease emphatically said that he don't think that there is a remnant.
Emphatically.
No. Listen, you might have that little nugget, but if you... I'm good at math, so I like to do the math. So you do the percentages on that. You're talking about 0.000025. That's not worth investing in. That's not worth my time.
I definitely think it's
flight. When I could go on a flight and land somewhere and have an overabundance, I got a 95% success rate. Then looking at a 0.00002.
And that's what my man Ingram Experience talk about. He talks about relationship capitalism because he feels like you feel that there's inflation. And, the thing I can never understand, think about this Zoom to Thailand and Al Greeze. If a man got an opportunity to buy a car in America that's $100,000, but he can get that same car for 40 in Germany,
right?
It's just common sense that he'll go travel abroad to get a better car. But, you got some guys that'll call you weak or lame for traveling, Al Greeze and Richie Mac. And I think it's goofy because I think every man should have the right to optimize his options. Some feel that men that travel are lame, and look, you might got a small percentage that are socially awkward, but a lot of these guys are professional men with money.
Well,
but they always...
Let me ask you this. They don't call...
Well, hold on. One at a time. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Al Greeze.
No. Listen, I hear that narrative. I'm weak. I'm this because I decided to try. Somebody called me a passport pervert. Yeah, I told him, shit, just drop the passport. I've been a pervert all my whole life. You just drop the passport. I'm not offended by that shit. So but no woman has ever knocked on my door saying I've been messing around with her underage daughter. No man has ever knocked on my door saying I've been fooling around with his underage daughter or his underage son. No woman has knocked on my door saying I've been fooling with her husband, or no man has said I've been fooling with his wife. Now you got them right here. Why they don't call them perverts and chastise them? Because some of them they look up to. Some of them they look up to. And I got to be the weirdo because I decided to go find happiness somewhere else. I'm strange. See, that's how you know misery loves company. See, some may not be able to escape their situation, their current situation, can't escape it, and they get caught in their feelings. When they hear me and brother Richie Rich talk, they get caught up in their feelings. Who these dudes think they are? Well, they can leave. Who the hell said they can go? Why they got so much happiness over there and I can't go? So some get caught up in that. So I don't get involved with that. I get brothers that hit me up on a daily basis. I'm sure like you do, ask you about information. I'm concerned about the one who asked me for information. How can I get to Brazil? Do I need a visa? Do you have to have this? You have to have your shots. You have to be vaccinated. I want to go. I want to get the hell out of here. Can you help me? So I'm more concerned with brothers like that than the brothers who caught in their feelings because they stuck here. And like you said, you don't like the. You said the term. You didn't want to compare women to dog food. When you said something, you said, let me clear that up. I'm not comparing women to dog food. I compare it to eating out the trash can. I don't have to eat out the damn trash can. I don't. And if I don't like what they're serving, I can go somewhere else. I have the means. I can go somewhere else where I want to be served different food. And that's what I do. So I'm not concerned with all that nonsense there. You call me what you want. Like you passport pervert. Shit, I've been a pervert since I was 10. I got 4 older brothers. Shit, so that don't bother me. I'm just concerned with the brothers that hit me up. They want information. I'm here to disperse information and make sure brothers live their best life, man, and have an opportunity to experience something else than just here.
Right. Richard, what do you think about the vitriol? You know, you talked about it in part on El Guapo's channel, Beautiful Lives. Go check out that brother. But it's the vitriol. It's almost like the crab in the barrel mentality, where you have a what I call a platoon of men that want men just to deal with mediocrity when they can get the best. It would be remiss of me, once again, as a licensed therapist, not to garner men the right to self-determination. And so when you hear these crazy concepts about, you know, you're weak, you're socially awkward or whatever, what's your take on it, Richie?
First of all, that's the corniest shit in the world, because my first question to anybody that says that is, number one, where's your passport? Because if you don't have a passport, you don't have a conversation. You don't even get to participate in that because you've never been. You don't know. That's like a man telling a woman, "Oh, you having a baby? That's nothing. Just lay up on the table and have a baby." A man can't have a baby. So how do we get to participate on what a woman feels like when she has her period and when she has a baby? It's like we can't do that. So I laugh because that's usually just because they can't get out. You know what I mean? They can't go anywhere. Like, and a lot of brothers, unfortunately, they got child support. They got things that force them to not stay there. So they want us to stay on the plantation with them, and we don't do it, then that makes us wrong. Second, coach and clinician, the fact that you feel, maybe not you, but the question is like we owe an explanation. Like,
we don't.
We have to explain like why we're doing what we're doing. As if we owe anybody an explanation is bananas to me. It's like this is what I mean by America. Like I just don't get it. Like I look at, I've never seen, not to say they don't exist, but I've never seen a white travel channel where the people are hating on their people, or Asian channel where people are hating on their people for traveling and bringing back information to others and getting hated on for that. Like that's what I'm telling you. Like I look at the news, it's just so bananas out there, man. I honestly don't feel like I owe anybody an explanation.
You don't.
You don't have to watch my channel if you don't want to. It's all good. I'm gonna keep doing me. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep inspiring, because nothing is better for me than when I get messages from people saying you inspired me, you motivated me to go do this, you made me look at my life different. I'm ready to get out of here. A lot of people, a lot of my subscribers are in the ex-military, the military, man, and they know because they travel too. But you don't know until you travel. So I've had a couple naysayers, but it's like, they're like, I don't want to talk bad on them, but that's in the rearview mirror. Like, okay, you stay there in your room and do your little vlog and say what you got to say, but that's right where you're going to be a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. You can be in that same little cubicle in your own little world. So it's like, the world's a big place, man, and I'm not getting no younger. I'm older than both of you guys. So it's like, I'm going to enjoy my life. I don't know how much time I got left, so I'm going to enjoy it. And the brother that sent them, that was another reference to Mr. Charles, what's his name? Because I got to go look him up. Charles Tyler.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The reference to him, that means he did big things. You know what I mean? Al Greeze said it. Coach Clinician said it. This gentleman said it, and appreciate the $100 super chat that you sent to the Coach Clinician, because this man is working hard. He does his job. He's a good person. He means what he says.
No doubt.
He uses words sometimes I don't understand, but I'm going to learn by the time I get done. You're going to learn today. So,
hey, Coach, are we cutting up that? Are we cutting up this super chat money, man? 3 ways.
No, that's all for KC. This is KC's time.
I just had to ask if we chop it up 3 ways. Because I got a fund. I got my travel fund.
That one
on the side, so we can stuff that in my travel fund.
That won't be kosher, man. If I did that. But I got you on the back end, though. You know, we be doing them backhanded deals, man. I got you on the back end. Shout out to my dear friend Chantel Simone. I call her the Exalted Lion. And she's one of those uncovered gems that's trying to be a better woman. This cesspool called America. Go ahead, Grease.
Let me say something. When we was out there, you was out there with me, man. We was out there when I was out there filming in Brazil just recently, and I went out looking for a dating coach. I went looking for a dating coach in Brazil, and all my contacts that I had out there when I was asking for a dating coach, they was laughing at me. They was like, "What the hell is that?
Right?
What the hell is a dating coach?" I said, "So, somebody to teach you how to interact with women, how to go out on dates and all that." And they said, "You have that in America for real?" I said, "Yeah. There's people got professions that are dating coaches," and they couldn't believe it. They could not believe it. Wait, how do you need somebody to teach you to do what's normal, how to interact with men and women?
It's a hustle.
And I said, man, out there, that's what they have, man. We lost the ability to connect with one another, and we got dating coaches that'll teach us that. They said, we don't have that here in Brazil. We don't have that.
Don't need it.
Yeah, you see a woman you like, whatever you're interested, you start that whole process, man, and it goes from there. So we don't have that. We don't even know. I don't know how to direct you to go anywhere to speak to somebody about a term of a dating coach or relationship expert. We don't have nothing like that here.
It's crazy, man, because Richie and Grease, that in other cultures, it's normal for a woman to be friendly and kind and talk to a man, and you don't have to play a lot of mind games. If she like you, she'll call you, and you don't have to, wait 24 hours or 48 hours, all that goofy stuff. Yeah, and that's why a lot of times, good guys that are good men, when they go to other countries, they are accepted for doing rational things. But in America, they'll say, well, wait 24 hours, don't call within 24, you want her to chase you. Who got time for that, man? Especially older men. Nobody got time for that goofy mess. But give me a minute, guys. Shout out to the Ingram experience. I need you guys to share this content. No doubt.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Enjoying the show. We're going to do a show tomorrow, and Ingram, I'll probably have Ingram on it, called The Rise of the Hyena. And the hyena is synonymous to the people, Al Greeze and Richie Mac. Many of them are white knights, they're simps, beta males that seek to, harass and try to shame men of purpose and means to being confined within the matrix of America. And, many times, a hyena can't see a lion one-on-one. They definitely can't see a Leo lion one-on-one, but they'll get in packs and, true to form, they'll bite their behind they'll bite. And so when the lion tries to get one, the next one will bite them. But one-on-one, a lion will destroy a hyena. Let's talk about forming that impenetrable bond, that impregnable bond that we need to form in order to keep this movement going, because there are going to be people behind the scene trying to subvert what we're trying to do. And as I told you guys, every time
what is the end game of that? I just don't. What is the end game, KC? What is the point? Like, this is why I'm saying this doesn't make sense to me. I'm looking at y'all in America, scratching my head. What is the end game of doing that? What do you? I don't get it.
The end game is this. It's called control and expecting men to fall in line. Listen, Maxine Wallace told some of the women in America, she said that if black men don't vote a certain way, we'll hold sex for them. So it's basically, black men need to fall in line and do what they're told because we live in a matriarchy. Grease know what I'm talking about. That doesn't exist in Brazil, and it doesn't exist in Thailand. I want you guys to talk about the power of masculine men in Brazil, but also, Richie, Thailand. Start with you, Grease. Go ahead.
You said start with me?
Yeah, go ahead. Because they don't have those issues in Brazil.
No. They don't. And let me just share something with you based on experience and what I do, especially when I'm traveling. And I go over. I love Brazil, so I'm over there a lot. So I have a nice old friend over there, but I put it through tests. I got to see how you react because I still have a lot of this baggage over here, and they're different over there. Because first of all, they fit, they're friendly, and they're feminine. They're feminine. So I had a situation where we up in the apartment, and she said, "Baby, I'm hungry. We ain't got no food in here." So I said, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some food." So I went down to the supermarket and grabbed me a box of cornflakes and some milk. I grabbed a box of cornflakes and some milk, brought it back. So over the door, I put the shit on the counter. She looked. She came over. I said, "Look, baby." She came over. She looked. She saw I had cereal. She went in the cabinet, grabbed 2 bowls, poured the box of the cereal, poured one for me and one for her. I poured the milk. She grabbed the spoons, and we sat down there and we was watching TV. She didn't say a word. She didn't say a goddamn word. "Oh, you gonna feed me cornflakes? False face. I don't eat this shit. I don't." She sat down. She ate the food, and she let whatever I decided what we was gonna eat for breakfast. That's what the hell we was gonna eat. Now she didn't contribute to it, so why you got any say so? So if you want to go buy, if you want it, whatever, go get it. Go get it. This is what we have, and never said a word. And one more thing on that. We were in the club leave the club about 4 or 5 in the morning. She's walking in front of me, and one Brazilian dude decided to take his hand and rub it through her hair. She got long hair, so he put his hand through her hair. So I grabbed his hand by the wrist and kind of like punched his chest, hit it with his chest. "What the fuck you doing?" And he saw that I spoke English, so he got, he put his hands up, no problem. She stood there. She watched when I was done, and she just walked around, grabbed my hand. We went in the Uber and left. Didn't question me about it. Why you didn't shoot him? Why you didn't stab him? You should have killed him. However I handled it, she was satisfied the way I handled it, let me handle it, and was go. And it was it. She didn't jump in the dude's face. She was there, let me handle it like a man, and then that was it. And that was it. Now, just when I got back, I had a homegirl in Atlanta call me up, and she was like, "Ah, you ain't gonna believe this. They were shooting up in the movie theater over here." I said, "What do you mean shooting in the movie theater?" Some chick was there, the dude, and she got into him, and next thing you know, one guy's dead shooting in the movie theater over there. Because whoever, I don't know the young lady there, but she wouldn't let her man handle the situation. She felt she had so much masculine energy that she could do it. And that's what I figured out. Women over here, too much of that damn masculine energy. You need to become more feminine. And if you're more feminine you become, you'll have less of these issues. But the more masculine you want to compete with men and take on that masculine energy, you're going to lose. You're going to lose to alpha males.
Right, alpha males.
Beta males will entertain you.
Right.
Alpha males, when you come with that masculine energy, will cut you off right then and there.
No doubt.
It won't work right then and there. They'll cut you off. They'll cut you off right then and there.
No doubt. There's a movement called Save Yourself Black Man that was started by the mad bus driver. What does Save Yourself Black Man mean to you, Richie Mac? You've been in the beautiful city of Pattaya, Thailand, I think, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah, 2 years, yeah.
2 years, right. The mad bus driver came up with a coin called Save Yourself, a coinage called Save Yourself Black Man. What does that mean to you, and why is that so important to the mental health of a man? And then I'm going to ask Al Greeze. And then we're going to run a clip from Zoom to Thailand because the brother got phenomenal content. He was a filmmaker, but his editing is subpar. I mean, not subpar. It's
subpar,
amazing.
yeah, that's it.
No, it ain't subpar. No, not subpar. It's phenomenal. It's state of the art. It's world class. And see, Greeze is a filmmaker too. But when I look at the quality of this brother's stuff, man, I've never seen, because I was like, damn, I wish I could edit like that. But I realized he's a filmmaker. This dude got, a triple plus editing, and the way he bring everything together with the sound effects is phenomenal. But what does SYSBM mean to you? You've heard the term, Richie Mac, and many men are beginning to say, for my mental health and my sanity, I'm beginning to save myself, not because they don't want women here, because a lot of times women get mad when we do these kind of programs, but I am a facilitator for men doing what's best for them, because I did a show in the past, Richie and Grease, and I said that men are the prize catchers. They determine if she's prize worthy. See, men think they are prize in their head, but you're not. You're a prize in your head. But until that man claims you, you're just a prize in your head. So he is the prize catcher. And so many men don't know what their worth is, Richie Mac and Al Greeze. They more or less sabotage themselves because they give so much to many times women that think that they are better because of entitlement issues. But when men begin to travel abroad and see that there are women from other countries that will honor and respect them because they've been socialized in a system that more or less honors and respect masculine authority, that's what I'm advocating for. So to the women that want men to stay in America, until you begin to advocate for the change of laws in America, I got to do what's best for the brotherhood, because I believe in male empowerment. That's what my channel is about. But what does SYSBM mean to Richie Mac? Save yourself. And what does it mean to you also, Al Greeze?
I mean, it's self-explanatory. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get more. You know what's funny? Because I'm new to the space and the acronyms and the words. I didn't know what it meant. People kept writing that, and I see all these different little words. I'm still learning them. But save yourself, black man, is definitely, like, to me, it means, do what you got to do to survive. Do what you got to do to be happy. Do what you got to do to save yourself from going crazy, from getting sick, from stroking out, from any of that, man. Save yourself while you can, because we have options. The information is out there. So that's what save yourself, black man, means to me. Save yourself from any of the toxicity that exists in America. That's what I'm thinking. There's another part to that question too. Casey,
my brain is spinning, man. My brain must be spinning like yours. But what does it mean to you, Al Greeze? I'm gonna read out this super sticker.
It means run. Put your shoes on and run. That's what it means. Run. Save yourself, man. Ain't nobody come to help you. Save yourself. Go inquire any information, all information that you need to find that one thing, man, that makes you happy. And where you can prosper and expose yourself to something new, because this is not working for most men. And the comments I get, the brothers that hit me up, they have a lot of pain. They have a lot of pain that they're going through right now, and they're looking for an outlet. They're looking for an outlet, so they're interested when they hear brothers like me and Richie talk. They're interested in it. They're interested in what Thailand like. I hear you guys describing Thailand like this and that. Man, is it really like this? It's really like this. Oh, I hear you talk about Brazil. Is it really like this if I get to Brazil? They're looking for happiness, man. They're looking for a way out. So, like I said, get your passport, get your freedom papers. Start right there. Get your freedom papers and take it off from there, man, and run.
No doubt. Let me shout this out. And Greece, this is a question for you.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
How can we donate?
You got me bouncing to this shit now.
All right. That's hot. I like it. Yeah, that sounds like
no doubt. That's that Leo swag. Man, I gotta always put that Leo swag polish on. You know how fly signs do. But it says, how can we donate to Frustrate 3? When is the estimated date Frustrated 3 is releasing? Also, Zoom to Thailand needs to be in Frustrated 3 film as soon as possible. His production quality is excellent. And that's why I'm bringing these brothers together. I call myself like a facilitator, I bought Al Greeze, my man, Guapo. Me and Guapo were chopping it up before, and I told Greeze about him. And, Guapo got that velvet voice. But then, I met Richie Mac, and Richie, I didn't know he was looking at my content. I'm like, I'm a little nobody, I'm a little small YouTuber, compared to Richie.
Let me answer this question real quick. First of all, let's see. Question for Mr. Greeze: how can we donate? I don't need any donations for the film. The film is just done. I'm just adding some music and doing some editing and stuff to it, so that'll be out ASAP. I appreciate your support. So in purchasing a copy of it, I have a digital copy online as well. Or if you want a signature signed copy of that, I can get you that too. It will be released in the next month or two. It will be released online.
Can't wait.
And if you need a hard copy of that. Now, I'm intrigued and I'm very interested in hooking up with my man Richie Mac. I would love to come out to Thailand, man, and we could work something out. That's no problem. That's not a problem at all. So all we got to do is, I'm good at writing too, Richie. I write the scripts and stuff to it. So I'm a good writer. So we can sit back and collaborate on something that we're looking to do, man. That's not a problem at all. We can make that happen ASAP.
I love it, man. Great minds think alike. And shout out to the closer clinician. He is a facilitator. He's Magic Johnson, even though he's a Michael Jordan, North Carolina guy, he's a Magic Johnson facilitator because we know Magic was a facilitator, not Jordan. So just keep it right, Mr. North Carolina. We're gonna keep it right. Magic is like an idol of mine. But I would love that, man. I love collaborations. I wrote a movie out here called The Fresh Prince of Pattaya. It was originally called Negroes in Thailand, but it was spelled the other way. But I knew that would get people upset. It's just it's a comedy that I wrote. But if you we can definitely get together and put some stuff together. I'm definitely that's my cleaning people. See, they clean the yard. This comes with the rent. They clean they clean the pool. They clean the yard. Man, it's like Thailand is like the Mexico of Asia. So you know what I mean. So they're the hardest workers. You get the most bang for your buck here in Thailand.
Right. Shout out to my man Taekwon. He said respect. Shout out to him. Shout out to
MC. You know what? That's another big part of it, man. Brothers don't realize the economic part of it. The economic part of how your American dollar. I told guys on the verge of retirement, what you can get in other places, man, and based on economics, man, on your dollar, and live a better quality of life.
Facts.
Better quality of life, man, overseas somewhere, especially if you're able to take that American dollar over there.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. Because you could easily live out here comfortably for, depending on your lifestyle. It depends, you know what I mean? You got to add in whether you drink, are you out there having different women all the time, are you getting a bunch of massage? Like, what are you doing? But on the average, $2,500 a month is livable, And
that's like living like George and Wheezy. 2,500.
Damn near. I do it. Mine's a little higher because I got a nice house in a gated community and stuff, but it's worth every dime. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely a livable place. Now, Coach Condition you were asking me something. I'm sorry. I get into giving up the flowers and then I forget the question.
Let me read off the MC the cover. I know Al to see your experience artwork. I'm in my 50s, getting that hey big head and what you've been doing, friends. Option. Great content, coach. No doubt. Shout out to you, MC Recovery, and thanks for the support. And shout out to my man, Awesome Dre from the 8 Mile. He says, shout out KC and you brothers as well. Had to pay dues as a black man who's never traveled. I lived through y'all. Looking forward to seeing the world. Richie, what's been being abroad done for you and peace of mind?
Shout out to right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And we're going to show some
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Content. And it's an honor just to bring him and Al Greeze together. Two phenomenal minds. Al is a technician when it comes down to the science of filming. I call Richie the wizard. He's like Spud Webb. He might be 5'8".
I ain't that short. But I'll take it though. I love Spud Webb.
But
I wish I could do basketball.
But listen, you might be about 5. I think you about 5'9", right, Rich?
5'8", 7,
right.
8.
But my point is, you might be sure that you're not even sure your average height because 5'8" is not short. It's actually average height. Under 5'8" is short. So your average height for a man. But you got that punch. You got that punch, with your editing skills. And I'm gonna bring it up to you guys. I'm gonna let you guys see it in a minute. But it's such an honor, man, to have these conversations. In theology, it says, "Oh, how good it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity." And there are many factors that try to more or less cause the unity of the brotherhood to be abolished. Me and Guapo talked about that once again when we talked about the ego. The male ego can be a vice or a virtue. And we have to learn how to harness our ego for the greater good of masculinity, but also for the greater good of coming together and facilitating change. A licensed therapist that's taking a risk. But then you got, the talented Al Greeze and the talented Richie Mac. And we're doing what men should do, not having respect of people, but seeing the intrinsic worth in other men and having a heart of kindness to help other men become the better versions of themselves. And I know this is Black History Month, and Dr. Martin Luther King said it better than me. He said, if I can help another man, he said, then my living is not in vain. And I don't want my living to be in vain as it relates to male empowerment. I want to see men empowered at their highest height. And so when I get two juggernauts like Al Greeze and Richie Mac coming together, we're going to take this thing to a higher level. But that's why we got to have these conversations. And that's why men have to keep their egos in check because there's enough food for everybody to eat as long as we're mission-focused and not self-focused. And sadly, in these YouTube streets, many are self-focused, sadly. Yeah. So I'm going to bring up some of the Richie's content. Richie got some excellent content. We're going to use it as a way to segue the show. But let's talk
He
about
asked
something.
the question.
Go ahead.
He asked the question.
Go ahead.
KC, your subscribe. He just asked the question. I was. He
What
asked
did he
me
say?
about
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Richard. Go ahead, Richard. He said, shout out to KC. Right.
What does trap being abroad done for your peace of mind, man? That's
Right.
it's. My blood pressure's lower. My stress level's lower. Like literally, like Brazil and Thailand are like this. Like I said, the only thing that takes Thailand over the top of Brazil is the safety. You know what I mean? Because I know Brazil, it could be crazy. You almost back home in some areas of Brazil, some places worse. But the food in Brazil, the people, the love is great. But here, like my stress level is like, you know, my friend Bill says, you know, in Thailand, the only stress you have here is the stress you put on yourself. So, and that's true, man. There is no, and I can't say there's no stress, but there's literally the only stress you have is when you on some goofy. Because I love just being free and clear of mind. So, it's done a lot. It just takes a lot of that. Just normal person. Like when I watch like the news, I watch TV in LA, everybody's so aggressive and you know what I mean? You lose that after a while when you come out here because nobody's tripping. Like me and my girl walking down the street. Now you know if I was back home walking with my girl down the street, you're gonna get kind of looks, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. In Thailand, man, people just mind their business, man. They just doing their thing. They don't trip on none of that. I haven't seen it. Not saying it don't exist, but I haven't seen any of it. So yeah, the stress levels is literally I say 80 to 90% gone when I'm here. You know what I mean? Only stress I think about is having to go back or, you know, making sure that my situation is my legalization is all cool. Because, you know, at any time they can be like, no, we had enough. You got to go. But other than that, man, it's just it's great. Al Greeze, how you feel about
I echo the same sentiments, man. Same sentiments, man. When I go, my blood pressure drops. I feel more at ease. I feel more relaxed. When I see the police, I know they're not coming for me.
Right.
Yeah, and I was talking to my older brother about it, man. One of my biggest fears is dying here, over nonsense. Anything could pop off, man. So when I'm over there, man, I'm more relaxed, more at ease. My blood pressure's down. I know in Thailand they speak English there.
Philippines more so. Thailand they do, but not probably like, you know, maybe 25%.
Yeah, that's the only stress I get, man, because my Portuguese is not where it needs to be because I back and forth, and I may get a little frustrated not being able to express myself in a certain situation or something that I want. But besides that, you know, I got my little friend, so she helps me navigate through that, and I don't like that all the time because I want to say it. So the most of the frustration.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah. Thailand is hard to learn. I don't know. Do you think Portuguese is a hard language to learn?
No, it's not hard. It's just that when I get back here, I don't have anybody to speak it with, so I lose it. But once when I get back over there, some of the words I get familiar with, and I've got tutors and take classes and stuff. But once I hear it, and they slow down because they speak so fast, and just slow it down a little bit. Let me catch up. And then But my stress level, man, and when I land there, man, it's just a different vibration from the climate, the energy, the heat, the warmth of the country, man. I'm at ease and stress go up, man. I look at my ticket and say, God damn, I got 2 more weeks, or I got 2 more days here, and I got to get back to this shit. So that's it, man. But you see it, man. You go out there, man. Stress just drops, blood pressure drops, everything drops, man. I've been out there and partied hard for about 3 weeks. Came back, so my doctor took blood. He told me, shit, you good. And because, you know, the food don't have the preservatives and all that stuff in there, man. So I'm not getting hit with high fructose corn syrup constantly and all that stuff, man. Different diet, man, and everything. So I'm looking forward. Like I said, I got a plan together, man. I got about 2 more years in here, and your boy is out. I'll be reporting live from Brazil, like you do it, bro. I'll be reporting live from Brazil, and that we can speed that up, man, depending on the sale of Frustrated 3. Now, if your boy love me, do me right, you know, we can speed this process up.
Well, I think it's gonna be a class. Shout out to my man Joe Fleming for the $20 super sticker. He said, I love seeing all these.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Got that bounce to it.
That's that bankhead bounce. That's that bankhead.
Got that bounce, man. Got that bounce.
You know what's funny? About Al Greeze? You know, the accent, that East Coast New York accent, I love it, man. But I think, man, and I'm from the West Coast all day. I'm West Side all day. But I think East Coast people are a little smarter. Like he's just faster. Like everything, his answers are just more clever. It's like that's why I would love building with somebody like him, because he would make me raise my level of intensity up. Because like when in New York, man, it looked like a cartoon. For y'all that never been to New York, to them it's normal. But if you've never been to New York and you go to Manhattan and you walk down the street, everything moves fast, man. It's like everything is fast paced. It just moves, and their way of thinking is fast. But I just want to give you that shout out.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to chopping up with you, man. So we're gonna stay in contact, man. And
absolutely.
But man, and before the year is out or whatever, man, we're gonna put something together, man. And I look forward to coming out there and chopping it up with you, man. And doing something, man. Like I said, man, I'm all about encouraging brothers, man, to travel, get out, live their best life, man. And from the response, I've been doing a great job, because I get response on a daily basis of how my project, my work, myself has had an impact on their lives, and they appreciate me for that. So I know, knock on wood, I'm good. But if something was to happen to me today, man, my family won't be the only one mourning. I have people out there that I've touched their hearts, man, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. I'm down for the brotherhood. I want to see the brothers succeed and not being railroaded by a lot of this nonsense that's going on here. Now, as far as them beta males trying to come at me, good luck with that shit, because I don't even acknowledge you. I just straight up, I don't even acknowledge you. I get people send me, yo, he said this about you. What's your response? I have no response. Who the hell is you for me to respond to based on something that's making me happy? I feel good. I'm not hurting nobody. Talk to them dudes that's molesting kids. Go talk to them.
Right.
Talk to them perverts.
Why are we even in that same sentence as that, though? Why are we?
Go talk to them. Have you said anything to them? They talk about slipping mollies and stuff and chicks drinks and all that stuff. Go talk to them guys.
Yeah,
go talk to them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rich.
Excuse me, speaking of collaboration, it's like, I don't know if you know this, Al Greeze, but Coach the Clinician has been putting this together. He's been saying, I want to get you with Al Greeze and with you with Al Greeze. He's been talking this up for a while. I don't know if he's been saying it on your end, but on my end, he made it absolutely clear this is how it's going down. It's going to be me, you, and Al Greeze. He was absolutely clear, and he had his mindset, and I'm glad that he did it, because he is the facilitator.
Likewise, brother. He's been on me for a minute, man. I've been crazy busy, and then all of a sudden, man, these migraine headaches came on, man, and I've been trying to fight them a little bit, man. But he's been telling me, I'm gonna get you and Richie Mac on, man. And I saw your work. Man. A couple of guys hit me up, yo, look at this dude. What you think about Thailand? And I saw it, and I said, from my experience and from what you were training in the video, I was like, yeah, that's about accurate. That's about accurate, man. If you want to go out there and live your best life, he ain't lying. He's not lying. And I saw your work. So when he hit me up, it was like, yo, I'm gonna get you and Richie Mac on, man. And I was like, wow, yeah, that'll be dope, man. And then he kept hitting me, and I was late in responding. I had to apologize to him, man, because my head, man, I shut down, man, and I'm not big on popping pills. So I wouldn't tell my doctor even give me prescriptions and stuff. And I just felt that I was kind of in overdrive a little bit, and I need to relax. I need to relax a little bit, man. Calm down, start drinking my water, start making sure I drink plenty of water and stuff. I want to relax first before he start doping me up. And so far, it's a longer process, but it's more of a natural process. And I prefer the natural way of getting myself back in balance. Instead of popping pills and not really going at the core of it. So relax a little bit, man, slow down. But I was very excited, man, to be on with you tonight. And I apologize if my energy level's not up to that, man.
Oh, you're fine, brother. You're fine.
Hey, this is your energy level when you down. What's it like? He goes harder than this.
KC will tell you. He'll tell you I'm like Michael Jackson. I'm off the wall.
One of the things I want to share with you, brothers, man, and shout out to my man Tim Howell for that $10 super sticker. Tim Howell says,
right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
This is definitely an epic show. Like I said, guys, you're not going to find a licensed clinical therapist with my background doing what I do, but also hailing from the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State, and matriculating at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I do this, guys, because I believe in male empowerment. Listen, I've been sabotaged so many times being 6'6", man, dark-skinned, highly educated. I've had folks trying to set me up. I've lost jobs. I've been through depression and stress and pain and hurt and trauma. And I said, I made up in my mind, I'm not going to let another man go through it. So I do this, guys, because I have a general love for the brotherhood. I told Al Greeze about Dr. Ron Neal. Dr. Ron Neal's here in North Carolina, and I work to help bring men together. But like I said, men can't let their ego get in the way of the greater cause of brotherhood, because many great movements have been derailed as to temptations. Many great movements have been derailed as to spinners, because men let their egos get in the way of more or less coming together as men and setting aside our petty differences for the greater cause. So I love what I'm doing, man. I love to see the smiles on people's faces. And, you know, one of the things that came into my mind when my sister passed is that our time on this earth is limited. And I'm going to tell you, Richie Mac, I love you, brother. Get your rest, man. I know you're an editor. You work hard just like me. But I want you to get your rest, man, because you're driven. But I'm going to tell you something, man. Lack of sleep can cause early stages of Alzheimer's. It can give you like some symptoms of Alzheimer's and delirium, I believe, or dementia. Also for you, Grease, I want you to make sure you get your rest as well, because we both as men, I work hard. Many times when I come from the office, I'm right back up editing and doing stuff as well, because we're driven. But we can't be so driven to the point that we sacrifice or more or less sabotage our health. Because once your health is gone, you can't get it back. You can have all the money in the world, but once your health is gone, it means nothing. So I want you guys to focus on your health, because health is one of the 7 steps to male optimization. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. There's a paradox, Al Greeze and Richie Mac, and then we're gonna bring your video up. And that paradox.
Let me. I don't mean to cut you short, brother, because I gotta get me some rest. You brought that on, man. I need to get me some rest right now. So I hate to cut this short, man.
But before you go, Grease, I want you to look at the stuff real quick. You really gotta go?
Yeah, go ahead. Bring that up.
Yeah. Let me go ahead, because I know you gotta go. I want to play one of Richie's videos.
What are we looking at? I don't even know what we looking at.
Well, it's the one about before you travel to Thailand. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. I'm literally editing as we speak. Like I'm literally like trying to put this together as we speak. So I'm listening. I'm watching.
All right, hold tight.
Okay.
You know, be successful, earn money. Like, you know, this is why my parents came to America, and they were.
What culture is this?
My family's from Thailand.
Culturally, that's your family, because I can go find a YouTube channel where a man is talking about his Thai wife and everybody's in love.
The Traveler G. People gon' say I'm crazy. Don't worry about me, I'm just blazing. My dance moves are excellent and with precision. Get down, baby, you can't stand in a dance competition. Glistening, flashing like a spotlight, shining like a diamond party all night. Tell me you love me, I wanna see the stars, eyes wide shut, then meet me at the bar. Up on my spaceship, bet you can't catch me. You lames ain't ready, cause I'm the greatest. Just sit back and watch me. Y'all been sleeping on me, better wake up. Put your fly gear on, do your makeup, drop it real low, and pick it back up. Excellent, bustin' with the best of them, simply impressive, no worrying or stressing them. I'm getting mine right now. Put your shades on and let me show you how. Up on my spaceship, bet you can't catch me. You lames ain't ready. You ain't ready. Cause I'm the greatest. Just sit back and watch me.
What up, Zoom Tribe? I just want to say what an honor it was to have the great Kevin Samuels mention me indirectly in that segment. Shout out to the Steel Curtain for sending me the clip. But then again, how do I know he was actually talking about Richie Mac, L, or Zoom to Thailand? Slow down, Travel OG. Let's hear what the comment section has to say. Either way, K-Sam, if you're watching, I would love to have you on Zoom to Thailand when you have an extra 5 or 10 minutes available, or even an hour. We have a lot to talk about. Sometimes I hear you quote from movies I was actually in. That means great minds think alike. And I would love to take what you and I are doing in these YouTube streets and take it to a whole nother level. Why am I saying this? Because I believe all of us are stronger together. Imagine if the best YouTubers came together and formed an alliance, ostracized the haters, and pulled up all the up-and-coming YouTubers that have the same real potential for greatness. Now, this is Soy Bucal, heading towards Beach Road at sunset. Like Maze and Frankie Beverly said, that's the golden time of day. Soy Bucal is magical around this time. This is right before everything gets popping. Sort of like when you're sitting on the air.
So let me ask you a question real quick, Richie. Excellent content, man. Excellent style. You know, you posed a question, and I know you're tired too. I'm going to let you guys go in the feed, but you posed a question about what to expect in Thailand. And this is more or less to Awesome Dre. We had read the question earlier, but he said, shout out to KC, you brothers, and you brothers as well. He says, a black man who's never traveled, I live to you all. So we read that chat, but he was asking about what does travel abroad do to the peace of mind. So Awesome Dre, we read it, but Richie answered it again for him. I don't know if you heard it, but he said,
we answered that.
We answered it, right.
I answered again. I thought maybe we didn't. Shoot, if he wrote back,
you did. You did answer. But go ahead.
Okay. What we're trying to do for your peace of mind, like I was saying before, like it eliminates, like, my blood pressure went down, stress level goes down. You just get a sense of peace. You know what I mean? Because you're escaping the matrix. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's how people with Harriet Tubman felt when they got out the plantation. They got up north and they chilled. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's like you're getting away. You almost get like a restart. You know what I mean? A reboot. And that's why I say it's so important for brothers when we travel abroad, man. We got to represent our best self, because with a lot of Europeans, when they do something wrong, that person takes the hit. But when we do something wrong, we all take the hit. I don't know why it's like that, but that's like how it works. So, because we're revered and honored and respected around the world, it's up to us to keep that. You know what I mean? Because, obviously certain countries, they probably don't revere and respect us, but the places I've been, it's almost like KC said, we're almost like celebrities. You know what I mean? In a sense. And that's just because of who we are and what we represent. You know what I mean? So I think I answered the question.
You did, brother.
And he hasn't traveled, so I feel for you, brother. I don't know what your situation is, but that's the best therapy you can ever have, man. It's just to get on a plane and go somewhere, just anywhere different than where you've been, just to see a different part of life. Even if it's for 3 days, 5 days, you can't come to Thailand for 3 days because it takes a day to get here. So you at least gotta, like, my recommendations, at least 10 days, because 2 of those 10 days is going to be travel days. You know what I mean? So you want to get a good weekend if you can, if it's at all possible. So yeah, hopefully I answer the question.
Well, Grease, I know you got to go, man. I'm gonna let you go. I'm honest.
I do too. I got to golf. I'm supposed to be golfing in a minute. Yeah.
Okay. How much more time you got, Richie?
It's been a pleasure, Richie Mac, man. I look forward to doing this with you again, man. And like I said, I look forward to doing something with you, man. So we can come together, man. Egos aside, we can come together, man. I come out to Thailand or whatever, and we sit down, man, and chop it up, man, and come up with something. Like I said, I'm good with the pen on writing something, so that's not an issue. So I look forward to collaborating with you on something in the future. KC, always a pleasure, man.
Wait, before you go. Before you go. I need to get all 3 of your documentaries. I need to see all of it. I need to be a student. I need to watch. I need to see. So please tell me where I can buy it. What I need to do to support.
Right. I got it right here.
Where do I buy it? How do I support?
Man, listen. Hit me up on the end, man, and I'll send you a signed copy, man. Don't worry.
Man,
I send you a signed copy of it, man. So just give me a minute. I got the other ones, man. We'll get your signed copy out there to you, man. And
okay, the one thing that's the catch about Thailand, though, like that's the only way they get you is shipping. It's very expensive to ship, and sometimes it takes a long time. Just given the fine print with that. I thought I was slick. I tried to do Black Friday back in the States a couple years ago when I first got out here. It cost me more to send the stuff than the stuff I had actually bought. That's how bad it was. I had to go.
All right, listen, I send you a digital copy, man.
That I can do right away. But I still want my signed copy. I still want my signed copy though. You can
but you could get a. I hit you with a digital.
Send it to my house in LA so I'll have it there. So I'll have it because I'll keep that forever. You know what I mean?
Okay, I appreciate that. Like I said, KC, man, always a pleasure, man.
Always a pleasure, man.
I look forward to chopping up you again, man. Like I said, I'll have that done. And thank you for playing a major role in the Frustrated 3-2, man. Got the brother out there, man. He spit his game out there, so I appreciate having you, man.
That's awesome.
Well, listen, we coming to Thailand with Richard, man. I got a couple of brothers in the back. I'm shouting James Turner. A few
listen. I got a Rolodex out there too, though. I got a couple on standby. Grease don't go nowhere. I don't go nowhere, but I have the lineup already installed.
It's a whole fresh crop out here, though, man. They replenish the crop.
You know what, man? Like I said, the biggest difference, Brazil and Thailand, is the bunda. The bunda is a little different. They
got bunda in Brazil. Yeah.
But the way I was treated by the women there, man. I had a woman. I was eating food, man, and every time I was eating my food, because I was a little bit intoxicated from having a good time, man. She was wiping my mouth off each stroke. Every time I eat something inside of my mouth, she would just wipe my mouth. It didn't miss a beat, man. Fill up my drink and all that stuff. And shit, I remember.
When's the last time you had that in the States?
I had it in the beginning. And once it got a little serious, I lost that. You know what I mean? And when I wanted something to eat, I remember taking a chick. This was fun. I remember being a chick, man, went to the grocery store. She went to the deli counter. Give me a pound of turkey. I said, who gonna eat sandwiches all week? I'm doing 10, 12 hours a day. You gonna feed me sandwiches? You crazy as hell. Bring your ass in down these aisles right here, get a packet of chicken. I need this, I need that. I need no goddamn lunch meat. I don't need no sandwiches. But that's the only skill she had. She's bad at the moment, but the only skill she had was she thinks she's gonna feed me turkey sandwiches all week. And I said, shit, that ain't gonna work, man. But listen, shout out to your brothers, man. I appreciate it, man, and we'll catch up soon.
And Richard, before you roll, man, Ingram Experience want to shout out, and also my man Chris.
Ingram Experience,
also Chris. So guys, I didn't know these guys had to go early. I would have, brought you guys up so we can compensate. But I had so much stuff written down. It was so good. Time started flying. So I'm going to drop the link at some point, and guys, we can come up and finish the discussion. But Richie and Grease.
Yeah, let me answer questions. Let me answer questions.
For minutes, for minutes. All right.
I'll try to stay on because my tea time is like in an hour and a half. So
okay, hold tight.
So if you can we get it out in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yes, sir. We can do it in 10 minutes, brother. We can get
cool. Yeah, anybody. Devon Mayron shouts out to Coach Clinician Al Greasy and Zoom to Thailand live from Brazil. Thailand is next. That's what I'm telling you, Coach Clinician. Like Thailand and Brazil, man. I haven't been to Colombia yet, so I gotta get with my man Andre in Colombia and see what that's like. But to me, nothing beats Thailand and Brazil as far as I'm at this point in my life.
Right. Yeah. So the link has been dropped, and you guys can pop on Chris and the Ingram Experience, but these conversations are so good, Richie, man, and I'm so honored, man, to have you on the platform. You are a stand-up guy. There's another brother I'm working with behind the scenes. He want to go to Thailand, and it's a presumption and the assumption that men that travel are losers and lames, and you can't get women, and it's just goofy stuff, man. It's not but shame and language to say the least. But Chris Strongheart, how you doing, young buck? Chris, unmute yourself.
Hey, let me respond to that real quick, Doc.
Go ahead, brother. I can't see you, Chris. You black as ice, black as night. But go ahead, Richard.
My ex-wife is beautiful. I'm in the entertainment business, so that lame thing that can't get women is like that's the goofiest thing you can ever say in your life. You better do your research about Richie Mac in LA. I was a big club promoter in LA, like the most beautiful from all over the world. So y'all got to get that right. Do your research. You ain't got to trust me. Just do your research. So that don't fly with me. That can't get women in LA in the state stuff. That just does not fly. But anyway, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, but Chris, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
hear you now.
I'm trying to get my camera working. I don't know why. I think it's having some issues. Hold up.
But yeah, but there's always the same talking points. And I believe in letting men talk, but you wonder who's behind these avatars because, there was a question by the young brother, I don't know if it was a man or woman, YAS4W. He was saying something about in Thailand about scams and all that. But listen, everywhere has problems. There's no perfect place. And so many times people talk about, I guess in Pawtucket and different areas that there's scams and whatever, but it's scams everywhere. You're not going to escape nowhere in the world without dealing with issues because that's the human condition. Would you agree with that, Richie Mac?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if y'all got a better place that the stuff doesn't exist, tell us where it is and show us by example. Right. Because you can find the flaws in anybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't believe coaching clinician has any flaws, but I bet if I stayed with him long enough, I might find something. Right. No, but you're right. Flaws in everybody. You know what I mean? That's just part of the game. But when people go to look for stuff, that means you're just fishing to try to find the negative, and that lets us know what your life is about. I don't spend no time with the negative, man. It's all about being positive and being happy. You know what I mean? Because life is just too short. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? That's why I initiated divorce, because it's like we're not happy. I got to be happy. My first thing is my happiness and my sanity. And it's like, if I don't have that, I got to go. And when we got divorced, I went through a serious depression. Like I was sitting in the room in the dark and didn't want to answer the phone. I was going through it, listening to what song was I listening to? I was listening to
Betcha by Golly Wild by the Stylistics.
Yeah, Stylistics is my favorite group. That's not who it was. It was Gladys Knight and the Pips. Neither one of us can be the first to say.
Oh my God, man, that is so powerful. Yes.
I cried. I listened to that, and then I listened to Sugar Free, who was a rapper.
Yes.
I would go to the simp music, back to the pimp music. So I would slowly get myself back. You know what I mean? I had to look at old pictures of myself just to remember who I was. Right. So it was like, it could be very depressing, man. But it's so empowering. So empowering to just get up and get out, man, and be appreciated and respected, man. Because I just don't feel black men get the respect they rightfully deserve at home a lot of times. You know what I mean?
They don't get it, man. And I'm going to keep being the clarion caller. I'm going to keep preaching the good news that you don't have to be a sucker for love in America. That you black men and American men, white or black, are prize catchers. And that there's greater later if you believe in yourself and do the shallow work by seeing me at coachingclinician@gmail.com to do that schema modification, but also to become degrees. I want to see American men degrees, and that degreasing starts by knowing your intrinsic worth, but also acknowledging, Richie Mac, what your issues are. And, we got to do a show at some point too, Rich. I want to come on your platform, man. And I'm looking forward to doing the show. So I would let me know when it's okay. And I would definitely love to come over, Richie, and do a show with you. And we do a show talking about the importance of male wellness, but also dealing with those things that you talked about, depression and also bad relationships. So you just let me know, and we'll make it happen. All right?
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to figure out a theme for it. You can always come up when I'm doing my lives as well. But if we do something like that together, I would, if it's just strictly one-on-one, then I would want to do a theme behind it and talk about, everything, so it's all uniform, so it all makes sense.
Awesome, Dre. He did answer the question, brother. You had to go back and look at the stream once we finish it, but Richie answered your question about peace. He talked about peace. And Al Greeze talked about it. You talked about peace. He said he didn't. I went back and checked and seen where Q asked.
Maybe he asked a different question. Did he ask a different question that we didn't catch?
I don't know. Was it a different question?
Dre, just type it out again so I can maybe type out your question.
Pop on Awesome Dre for a minute. Go ahead, brother. Pop on Dre. Richie got to go. So just pop on. You can ask him or you can pop on. Ingram Experience, if you own, you can pop on for a few minutes because Richie got to go do his golfing. And,
Ingram Experience, you got to bring Ingram Experience up. You got to bring the Ingram Experience. I don't
see him, but
okay. Well, just send him a shout out.
Why WS for Don? You got to cam up, brother. You got to come on. If you don't cam up, you can't come on. So I need you to cam up if you want to come on. Ask Richie a question. All right. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
What's going on?
Brother? All right. How you doing, sir?
So I got a question for you, bro. Are y'all talking about? Hold on. You know what? I gotta. Hey, baby, you got the remote?
Who are we talking to? What's
Sorry, let me walk to another room.
Is that
my question? My wife. Sorry.
No. This is somebody totally different. But
okay, got you.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? I'm trying to go somewhere the lights at. Sorry. All right. So are you talking about the negative impact about the women around Thailand? Are you preparing brothers for the scamming bitches and all that?
Well, I haven't had that experience. You know what I mean? So, but I can say the same thing about going to
New York. Run across it?
Not at all.
Right, but you know, this is a land that we're not really living in. So you know, this is one of the things that you kind of got to be prepared for. So like me personally, I lived in Phuket. I went to a Thai camp, and I saw a lot of dudes get scammed dealing with the Thai women and not really being prepared. Right. So I have a homeboy who's currently out there, and he ran across a chick. Shouldn't have did what he did, but he hit her with no condom. Next day, she came up with the I'm pregnant. Right. He didn't really know how to operate with that. So I had to school him on, you know, take the condom over there, make her pee on it. The pregnancy test, and you go from there.
Yeah, see, like I said, man, I ain't experienced none of that, and I've been here 2 years, so I can only speak on my experience. You know what I mean? It's just like me growing up in LA. I experienced being around Bloods and Crips, but I wasn't in around Mexican gangs, so I can't really tell you how they get down. It's like, you know, I'm not saying scams don't exist, but I'm just saying experience.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying, you know, that's every situation, but you know, if you go out there without a seatbelt or not knowing, you know, what the situation is, you know, it's kind of tough because dudes, from what I've seen, especially in the space, dudes think that just getting a passport and getting there, women are just falling out of the sky, and they're not really aware of, you know, chicks with like freelance in their bio when you get on Tinder. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. That's absolutely But isn't that same thing anywhere though? What's the difference between Thailand and Las Vegas? If you go
no. So the difference between Thailand and Las Vegas, right? So if I'm in Vegas, I'm out of state, I still speak the language. I still know what's going on with the police. You know what I mean? If you go out to Thailand, I've seen dudes be with a chick, the chick go off and go say something to somebody else and come back. Now you don't know what happened because it's in a different language.
Yeah. See, I don't. Yeah, but
let me.
But I want to address. I want to because he makes good points. Because I've had a couple people say to me, "Why don't you talk about this, and this?" And it's like I just haven't had that experience. Like my experience has been nothing but positive. So, but then again, if you're from the streets like me, and I'm sure you are too, you see that coming a mile away. It's usually like I say this in my episodes: if you're a sucker, you're gonna get licked. That's anywhere you go, right? And you always got to keep your guard.
But see, that's the problem. A lot of these dudes don't know nothing about that, and they put themselves in positions to where they get stuck because they don't have that common sense for the streets. You know what I mean? There's street knowledge. So they'll get there and they think shit is sweet, and then they get popped. Like it don't happen to me. Like when I was living in Thailand and Cambodia, I was fucking white women. So you know that's where you from?
You went all the way to Thailand.
Oh, yeah, come on over here.
You went all the way to Thailand to fuck white women?
Oh yeah, nigga. Oh yeah, all day. I mean, you know, I knocked a couple of them on Tinder. It was easy, but I'm very wary of people who speak a language that they're in control of. You know what I mean? Like the whole country speak that language. So I'm not playing the game with you. You ain't finna set me up, hit me with the okie doke.
Well, let me say this, and I won't let my man speak. And I respect your position, brother. But you know, and I think you come with a sense of clarity. But it's issues anywhere you go. I would think that the men that travel are smart enough to know what they're dealing with. If they don't know, then you got OGs like Richie Mac. You got men like Al Greeze. But there are many men that try to sabotage the movement of male empowerment. I brought you up out of respect because I want to hear your position. But we're not going to talk about the negative things associated with travel because that's anywhere you go, brother. You can find that anywhere you can go. You can go Thailand, you can go New York, you can go anywhere. And so you can always have, let me finish, man. This is my platform, so I need you to be quiet. Anywhere you go, you're going to have issues. You're going to have problems. So we're not going to use my platform to try to, minimize the movement. I don't know what your intentions are, but I did bring you up out of good faith to let you share a word.
Well, no, let me just say this. I'm not minimizing anything. Me putting up the cold hard fact, you showing one side of the coin. You got to show both sides of the coin so that people are prepared. You can't just leave people down the road and think it's all rainbows and everything.
Y'all look froze over there. I see Coach Kanisha. I see your hand.
Yeah, can you hear me, Rich?
I hear you now. Yeah. We got
Chris, go ahead. Chris, go ahead and answer. I'll let you respond.
I'm good. You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, brother.
First of all, shout out to you, man. Shout out to all y'all on the panel right now. Shout out to Rich. You know what I'm saying? What's good, brother? It's good to actually meet you digitally. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you. But honestly, to answer the brother's question, the question, he's asking, is basically saying, what's the level of safety that's going to kind of be involved with traveling. And a lot of times, this is why we'll tell dudes, get your information before you go over there. Talk to the guys who've been there. This is why you don't just hop up and just ride out by yourself. You want to know something about where you're going and kind of like the temperature and the vibe of the place that you're going to. This is why the groups are here. This is why brothers make channels. This is why you want to be informed about what and where you're going before you get there and know the area. This is why we talk about what we talk about. There's different channels throughout YouTube that are gonna guide you and let you know. Before I went to Brazil, my first trip, I watched so much of Charles Tyler's content. I didn't just up and go off to Brazil without any understanding of what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a full, like, you know, it was to me, I did so much research to where when I got there, it felt familiar just based off of me watching and understanding how to move and watching different creators' content before I even got there. So when I got there, you know, it didn't even feel that foreign because I just was like, yep, I seen that place. I know that beach. I heard about this person and this brother was connecting me. So basically, you want to move, you know, intelligently, just like you wouldn't go up in somebody else's neighborhood, not having like, you know, somebody kind of like a conduit, somebody basically letting you know, like, hey, man, if you go in this neighborhood, you know, watch out. You know what I'm saying? This nonsense is going on over here. Don't really be on that street, you know, stuff like that. So that's
exactly.
I think Richie froze, and I think it's common sense about.
I'm listening.
I thought you had froze, Richie, but I think it's just common sense about learning the negatives. But I also think there's an agenda, Richie Mac, and also Chris Strongheart. And brother, I don't know you, but it's definitely agendas because there are many men that seek to subvert movements or try to shame black men into silence. Many times they ask goofy questions. They really don't really care about black men getting what's best for them. And if your heart is right, Jazz Fort Dining, I'm not going to judge you because I don't know your heart. But it does. So let me finish, please. This is my platform. I need you to listen when you're on my platform. When you're in my house, you need to listen and not interrupt me. Are we clear on that?
I'm just trying to clarify things for you.
Okay,
I don't want you to get off on a tangent.
I'm going to let you clarify it, but you're going to listen while I'm talking. Are we clear?
I hear what you're saying, so you can go ahead and proceed.
All right. This dude is a clown, and he's going to be booted from my studio.
Well, I think he was making some points.
He was trying to get slick with his mouth, Richie. I don't tolerate that, man.
Okay.
I don't tolerate that. When I'm talking, you come correct, and I don't think his intentions were right. I think he was coming to cause chaos, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Richie. You know, I don't have a problem with people sharing their. And Richie, you froze, brother.
No.
Yeah. He went to the block club. His energy wasn't right, Richie. And I'm not going to allow guys to subvert this move. His energy wasn't right. His mouth was slick. And, you know, I'm a gentle giant, but I'm 6'6". I don't care who it is. Your mouth gets slick. You can get this work. Don't care who it is. Don't let my kindness fool you because you can get this work. And so I don't think he was genuine, Richie. And so I banned him out because his energy was off. I worked in law enforcement. I can read people's energy. And, you know, his biorhythm was like he's asking stupid questions. Yes, you got to be careful going to Thailand. Yes, you got to be careful going anywhere. You got to be careful when you're in a major city. But the questions that he's asking in my mind are redundant. And when I'm trying to talk and you're trying to overtalk me on my platform, brother, that ain't going to work. I have a kind heart, but you can get this work when you try to overtalk me. And I don't like that. So when you try to overtalk me and think you're going to outshine me on my platform, when I got the Travel OG and the Young Crab, that ain't going to work. So he's not welcome in the Council of Kings. I don't mind people coming on, but sometimes these guys have ulterior motives, Richie. They have ulterior motives, and I had to kick him out because I don't feel like his motives were right. But go ahead, Richie, real quick. I know you got to go.
Well, I try to find the good in everybody. You know what I mean? I try to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You read better than me. You're the professional. You know what I mean? I was trying to just address things and say what it was. But yeah, shout out to the young brother too. I can't see the name now. I want to address him by name. Yeah.
Hold tight.
I got it.
Yeah.
I saw you. I saw you on with Kosher Clinician before talking, and I was listening.
That's Young Crab.
Yeah. Man, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I did the video, you know what I'm saying, about, you know what I mean, your content. When the one brother got up there talking slick about SYSBM, that's why I had to get in there. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole thing is about, like, you know, when you got dudes like that who are speaking against the movement, because the way all this breaks down is that, you know, under the, like, you have the red pill umbrella, and then up under the red pill, you have different, you know, you could say flags or factions or whatever you want to call them. Like for the travel brothers and brothers who travel, you know, we're like probably like the smallest subset of what you would consider to be red pill or men who are aware. You know what I mean? We're like the smallest. So when you got, you know, brothers talking down on SYSBM and how we move and stuff like that, And it's unwarranted, especially somebody who's from basically a whole nother country. That dude, he was saying some slick stuff, and I just was like,
he was trying to say slick stuff, man. I felt this energy. I ball him up so he can shame himself. I knew what he was trying to do.
Not him. It was somebody else. It was
talking about somebody else, right?
Yeah. It was the one dude who made a video about Rich traveling to Thailand. He was saying some silly stuff about Rich traveling to Thailand. His thing. He made like a whole video. His name was I don't even know if
don't even say his name. Don't give him no shine. But because I don't because me, I'm petty. Like I'm you gotta remember, Coach Condition is 6'6" and he got hands. He usually don't have to deal with no smoke. I got a short man's complex, so I'm always ready to get down and go up in somebody's mouth. So the dude that wrote that did the thing, you know what I mean? I call him the mole, you know what I mean? Because he's just on some mole shit. But that's what people do, man. But but that's what's expected. The more successful you get, the more the moles are going to come out and the haters, because that's how they think they're going to grow their channel. But you can only go so far hating. So you know what I mean? So I lead with love, man. So it's whatever they want to say is cool. I'm gonna keep living my life and do what I do and inspire the people that want to be inspired. But the good news about that, Coach Clinician, is the people that think the way certain people think, they're going to stay there. They're going to stay on the planet and let them. You know what I mean? That's their truth. So we don't need that kind of energy in our space anyway. So let them hate and say what they want to say and make their channels and all that stuff. But the brother that was on previously, like the energy might have been different. But I wanted to address his situation, because I've heard that on my, people saying that. Well, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? And once again, like I said to him, it's not my personal experience. I can only speak on my personal experience. So I can't speak on everybody's experience. You know what I mean? So that's what I was trying to say, because that's just like, if somebody's talking about how they had a horrible divorce and what they went through, they're not going to go double back and go, yeah, but I had a really good relationship and we were so happy and in love. They're going to stay on the track of what they're doing. My track is, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. I'm spreading positivity and love, and I definitely want to inspire brothers to do what they do. And thank you so much for sticking up for me on that too. On your. I think I responded to you, right? I think I said.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, on the video. Yeah, you sent me a message. You know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Respect to you, because at your age. If I was your age, man, I wish I was your age when I was woke like you. You know what I mean? I like your setup too. Your setup is nice.
Appreciate you. Yeah, everybody gives me compliments on the setup, man.
Yeah. That lets us know you're serious, because the trick, everybody talk about Rich, your editing, and I appreciate the compliments, but it's the little things like lighting that people don't know. Why does your videos look so good? It's high production value. All I'm doing is using adequate lighting for my iPhone. I'm shooting everything on my iPhone. This phone is pretty much where I'd say 90% of the stuff I shot is on this iPhone. It is all about the lighting. So you already in the right space. You're already doing the right thing. Keep pushing, black man. I know you're going to be all right, man. So, Coach Clinician, I got to get ready to get out of here.
All right, man. Listen.
My boy Mike from Compton, but my boy Mike is in there. Mike, come say what's up to the people, Mike.
Tell Mike what's up, man.
That's my golf buddy from LA, man. He came out here. Coach Clinician, he'd be good for you to talk to, too. That's my boy Mike from Compton.
Hey, Mike,
he ain't from Compton, though. He ain't from Compton. I say from Compton because that's where he lived. But that's the coaching Clinician right there, man.
What's up, brother? What's going on, man?
How you doing, bro? Yeah, man. So he be whipping my butt on the golf course, but I got an advantage now because we playing in Thailand. He don't know these courses yet, so I'm gonna try to take a couple of his dollars a day. We do our thing, but this is my therapy. Okay, my brother.
All right,
no doubt. I've only seen him like twice since he been here. He done fell in love 3 or 4 times and all this shit. I just see him on golf days, but as long as I see him, I know he's good. No doubt.
Man. So well, listen, Richie, I know you got to go, man. Much love and blessings, man. Thank you, man. I had a myriad of questions, but it's been an awesome show, man. Don't worry about you good, man. It was too many questions anyway. I like to be over prepared than be under prepared. So, but I definitely plan to come. Let's do a show at some point. Let me know the topic, and we're gonna make it pop off. And tell your boy MTR about me, man. I would love to get together with him and you and I.
Jump on, y'all both jump on the stream when we do it. Like when I let people up, come on up, because
I'll do that.
That's a good way to integrate you guys.
No doubt.
And give y'all a shout out, because that's what lead attorney did for me.
No doubt. Shout out to the lead attorney. Shout out to him.
That was my first my first breakthrough because I couldn't get through. I was like, I know if people see what I'm doing, they'll like it, but how they gonna see it if they don't know it exists? So that's the way I kind of finesse my way around, like just getting on other people's platforms and saying different things. And he spoke me up. So I always give it up to lead attorney.
Well, the lead did for me too. He looked out for me a couple of times too. So shout out to that brother. I really appreciate it. But Richard, go ahead, man. I know you got to go, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for your kind heart. You're a man to your word, man. And I'm gonna be in Thailand at some point. I got a good friend of mine that he's been asking me about issues about travel. I got a couple of guys. Chris might be part of the crew. I call him a young crab. The young crab. I was down in Brazil with Chris. He's a good brother. That's why I brought him on the platform. He's genuine. And I try to work with positive, genuine people like Chris. You know, I test people, and Chris have always passed my test. So I call him the young crab. He's a good brother, man. And we're going to get some good men to Thailand that are looking for wives, man. And we know, once again, that there's mess everywhere you go. There's crime everywhere you go. And maybe, Richie, you can get with people that are more aware of the area and give them the pros and cons of traveling to Thailand. Maybe you can do a video on it for the critics. But really, Richie, they don't really want no smoke. They just want to find ways to criticize what black men are doing, just like this dude when he came on my platform, bumping his gums. Think he gonna damn overtalk me on my platform, bro? That don't work. You don't know what you're dealing with. Don't get this kind of mean twist. I worked in law enforcement and worked.
Don't let him get you up your square. Don't let him get you up your square. Close the commission.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't get up your square.
Don't get it twisted, man. Listen. I'm about to give him some fire for his mind, Richie.
Fire for your mind. The kosher.
But salute, Rich. I'm gonna let you go. I know you gotta go, brother. Much love and blessings, man. Love you, brother.
Yes, sir. Blessings to you too, man, and good luck with everything. And I'll see you Tuesday. I got MTR,
no doubt.
Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews on Tuesday evening. So y'all be there. I'd love to see y'all, and any way I can help you, let me know. I got you.
I appreciate it, brother. No doubt. Be good,
Okay.
Rich.
All right, brother.
Good, brother. All right, be good. Much love. All right, Chris.
Yo.
I had to see the line every now and then, Chris. I try to keep the line in the cage, man.
Hey, man, it is what it is, man. It's your platform.
Yeah, Chris. You know I get down, Chris. You know I got a big heart. But when people, I know goofy energy, I know hyena energy. I can sniff it because I'm a lion, and and I wanted to let the man talk because I believe in being diplomatic. But when he tried to tell me you proceed in your energies, I'll do. You're on my platform. Who you think you're talking to? You got to come correct when you come on my platform. If you don't come correct, I don't care who it is, you can get this work. Chris, how would you like to add to the conversation real quick? Because is there a modern woman paradox, Chris, meaning they want the love and the adulation of a black man, but they don't want to more or less compete for that love and adulation? What's your take on that, Chris?
Oh, I mean, they definitely don't want to compete. I mean, that's the last thing they want is to compete. You know what I mean? That's why they failed in their divestment whole movement situation. You know what I mean? Because the thing is like this: you wanna wolf dog all that divestment nonsense. Okay, you divest, and now you're gonna go out here and say that you're gonna get white dudes. Okay, so now you're gonna compete directly against white women. You're not even doing well competing against white women with black men. You know what I'm saying? So like that whole divestment stuff, that's not even popping. So I mean, it's well known that they rather not compete. You know what I mean? That's why it's a shame. But even in the culture, you know what I'm saying, they would feel more inclined to go after the easier type dude, or the dude who is in a compromised position, or who has some type of lack of something, or maybe his financial situation ain't right, or there's something about him that's lacking, and she'll find that as a way to assert herself over him. So basically, they're already starting out where she's mentally in a position to where she feels like, oh, I'm over this dude. You know what I'm saying? So he better not talk to me no type of way, i.e. a dude she can control, basically. You know what I mean? So we know that that's one of the main narratives that run the culture. You know what I'm saying? And for dudes that don't know, you need to understand that the majority of the women in the so-called community are really trying to target dudes that they feel like that they can have some type of edge over, and then always keep you in a position to where you're going to be subservient. I mean, it's a shame, but that's really what it is right now. You know what I mean? It's sad, but that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I totally agree. I don't know if you listen to the conversation with Richie Mac. You travel with Al Greeze. You're going to be in Frustrated 3 with me. You and I.
I wanted to catch him before he got off the panel.
Right. Yeah, he had to go. But you were in Frustrated 3 with me as well, Chris.
Facts.
And, is there a crisis in America with feminine women and respect in your mind? And when did you come to your great conniption about the lack of honor and respect that you're receiving that you were not receiving here in America?
It's definitely a crisis, man. It's definitely hard to find, or to really kind of find what you would want to consider a feminine woman. You know what I mean? A one who is not going to be combative, one who is really going to be a part of your team, one who's going to be on board with what you're trying to do. It is challenging to find that. I mean, like, you'll hear some people say, hey, if you want to go out here and try to find, the haystack, in a bed of needles, then you have fun trying to wade through that. And you just heard Coach Grease say, what percent are we really trying to deal with? I mean, the main problem is it's not produced in the culture. And that's the issue. It comes down to a culture issue. And where I first realized it, really, it would have to be kind of like, post my divorce, where I was really trying to wake up and understand things. I was trying to understand, like, why did this happen the way it did? What's really going on? Like, what would, move her, what I'm saying, to kind of act in that way when it came to the divorce proceedings and stuff like that, things involving my son and stuff like that. What would, push a woman to do certain things? So when I started asking the right questions, that's when I started finding the right answers. And that's eventually what led me, to the understanding of the red pill and the understanding of female nature. Is all the stuff and all the drama I was going to. And it really made me realize, like, this ain't all, sugar cakes and rainbows out here like what you thought it was. Like, oh, she's a princess. Oh, she's a sweetheart. No. Women can be the most vile creatures out here. And the problem is that men have to understand, when you have a lack of standards, discipline, and you just allow any woman into your life just because you think she's pretty, that'll be the greatest thing that will take you down and get you off your path and off your purpose. You know what I mean? That'll be the greatest thing. The strongest men usually fall for the woman that they let into their life. It's brought down empires. Whole empires that fell over it.
Chris, hold tight.
It's crazy.
Hold tight, young crab. $2 for the $2 super. You can proceed right now. And a shout out to my man Byro Hammer, 49 for that $5 super sticker.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Right. And that's why I knew what he was doing. Like I said, I worked in law enforcement. His energy was not congruent. His questions were not congruent because he started off at a very, very low level, asking basic stuff. And then, when his mouth started getting slick, and, he gonna try to punk me on my own platform, you will release the line, man. Don't ever do that to me. I don't care who it is. Don't ever think you can control me, because you'll feel my wrath every time you try. I don't care who it is. Win, lose, or draw in a physical debate. You might beat me. I might beat you. I don't plan to lose. But don't ever do that, because anytime you try to control me in a disrespectful way, you're going to get this damn work. I don't care who it is. And you can write that down. You can take it to the damn doctor. I don't play that. I don't tolerate that from no man. Don't give a damn who it is. You come correct and treat me right, I'll treat you right. Chris, you know how I get down. Ever since you know me, I'm one of the fairest, most diplomatic people in the world. I don't tolerate disrespect. You don't come in my house bumping your gums. You come in a spirit of respect, and I treat you in respect. But when you come with an attitude and think you're going to talk, nah, bro, you got to go. I don't tolerate that goofiness, man. But go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Nah, man. You good, man. Your show, man. You doing what you got to do, bro. Ain't no issues right there. You know what I'm saying? When he came in, my smoke detector was going off. I was just I was just like, how you coming? You know what I'm saying? I caught it. But I just was like, let me just answer this question just so we can actually, because the thing about it is that me personally, I detected the smoke, you know what I mean? But my thing was, I was just trying to be like, well, let me actually give him some fruit, regardless if he's trolling or not, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't my show. It ain't my job to kick him off. But you know what I'm saying? Regardless if he's trolling or not, let me just go ahead and throw him some information just to actually answer his question. Right. And then, of course, you came with the fire and brimstone and took care. But it's all, you know what I'm saying? It's all good either way.
I don't like to go there, but, I balled him up because he was in the chat talking. Okay. And, I heard some of my moderators talk to him, Tim and my man, Top Gun, also cool gent. But I saw from that, there were some issues. And like I said once before, I respect all men. I bow to none. Win, lose, or draw, don't disrespect me. I won't disrespect you. But you can feel this wrath if you try. And I stand on that. And, and I had to, expeditiously get rid of that because, Chris, and I know that there are many people that don't have any good deed as it relates to the liberation of men of color or American women. They seek to subvert movements. They seek to derail movements. They seek to more or less undermine Chris Strongheart. What I'm trying to do as it relates to the liberation of the minds and the souls of our men. Living in America is not easy. Being a black man in America is not easy. Being a man in America is not easy. You and I both have traversed all of the dangerous pitfalls of being black men in America. You're dark skinned just like I am. But we still have risen to the level of the occasion and have done nobly. But I don't like it when people, if you don't believe in the movement, you don't believe this, just go create your own channel talking about male travel and the dangers of male travel. But from the energy I got, I didn't think it came from a place of sincerity. It came from a place of trying to be disruptive. But I'm very diplomatic. Once again, I don't mind people sharing. But when you start bumping your gums and being disrespectful in my chat, I'm gonna punch you like that. Like Lucy on Charlie Brown from The Great Pumpkin, because I'm not gonna tolerate that, man. I'm not gonna tolerate that, Chris. What have you been struggling with, Chris, as it relates to dating in America from women of all ethnic groups? What have you been struggling with? And to the 80 people that are watching, get the likes up, share this content. Please share the content if you have not shared it, and get the likes up, and go subscribe to Chris Strongheart, my man, the Ingram Experience, and also Zoom to Thailand, as we seek to come together to find solutions at these very turbulent times. But go ahead, Chris. And if anybody else would like to come on the platform, I need you to cam up. You must be respectful, because if your mouth gets slick, you're going to get this work. So go ahead, Chris.
Well, what have I been struggling with? That's an interesting question, because, I haven't even really been focused on dating here in the States at all. Like, I've been focused on getting back to Rio. Like, that's been the focus. Like, there ain't been no focus on dating in the States. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but if I wanted to go back, to a time where I was focused on, like really trying to make things happen out here with chicks in the States. But before I even continue on that, it's like, it's not so much that, like, it's just like, would not ever date a chick from the States here at all, have anything. It's just like, I don't have much expectations, really. Right. That's the biggest thing. I don't have much expectations, because I've had great experiences in other places. But, back when I was really focused on it, the biggest thing I experienced was really just a lot of disrespect. You know what I'm saying? A lot of disrespect that I would come across, with women. And the thing about it is this: I think a lot of brothers experience the same thing, but they tolerate it. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the biggest issues, that now when I speak to my bros and I speak to guys I know that ask me questions, and they'll mention something about a female, I'm like, bro, she's straight out disrespecting you. Why are you dealing with her? No, man, it ain't that bad. It ain't that. No, bro, it is that bad. She outright just disrespected you, but you're just gonna let that happen, or you're basically gonna say, no, I'm gonna allow this to happen because some part of you feels like she's the best you can do. And when you're in a compromised position like that, basically, when you're not coming from a place of abundance, those are the type of pitfalls you can come into when you don't value yourself. All right. When you don't value yourself, you don't value who you are, when you don't have purpose, you don't have direction. Those are the things that you're going to fall in. Those are the pitfalls that you will wind up falling into. So, to wrap it all up though, basically, yeah, just, genuine disrespect is the biggest thing. It wasn't about couldn't attract women and stuff like that. I was attracting chicks all the time, but it just was like, it was tolerant. Is a level of tolerance for disrespect. I just didn't have, I just didn't have it. I just couldn't deal with a lot of the nonsense. I'm like, all right, this ain't it, So I'd have to say that's the biggest.
And I agree with it, Chris. And you went to some of your struggles, and I don't want you to put your business out there, but you went to some of your struggles dealing with Western women. And I want you to talk about that. And we don't want to assign all negativity to women of color. You've dated women from different colors as well. What was your experience in dating women of color versus dating women that were not women of color? And would you say the same sentiment remains as it relates to Western women, in your opinion?
I'd say generally, overall, Western women have the mentality of kind of somewhat don't need no man. I'm not going to be up under no man. I'm not going to, allow him, or kind of like respect his authority situation. It's kind of general throughout the races, for the most part. There are some differences here and there. And I don't value one race over the other. it's just that there are certain cultural differences that are there. I have noticed that if you're dealing with, you know, white girls and stuff like that, just to put it out there, they're usually more family oriented as far as like their houses are usually a little bit more structured. And, you know, like with, you know, one of my exes, like when I first went around her family and experienced that, it was one of the things that it just kind of got me like, wow, like I'm not used to having such a whole big family right here. Everything is intact. Mom, dad, same, you know, still in the same house, and, you know, grandma, grandpa, and everybody meets up like, you know, all the time. And the funny thing is that used to be our culture, but the fact that the traditional family has pretty much died, or it's going out of phase, basically, you know, it's kind of sad, you know what I mean? Because because in the white culture, I did see a lot more family structure, stronger stronger families, and because of that, you'll have situations where the brother, you know what I'm saying, literally he went to Brown, he's a scientist, you know what I'm saying. You'll have, you know, his wife is a dentist, the cousin is like a lawyer, you know, the auntie owns 3 businesses. The other one is an entrepreneur who's in the real estate, owns 3 houses, and she has her own house way up in the Northeast, and then a summer home down in Florida. Those are kind of the type of things that you'll experience more, I guess you could say, when you actually really kind of start getting around the white families. But, you know, yet and still the level of kind of like disrespect and stuff like that, the things that you won't take as a man are really the things that's going to tick you off. The family, like, you know what I'm saying, in that experience, that family, you know what I'm saying, they love me, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have any issues with the family. They always told me that, you know, they always appreciated me. They always made me feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? Even the same thing when I deal with Latinas, you know what I'm saying? I would meet their parents and, you know, their moms, and they would come around and they would cook for you. You know what I'm saying? The moms, you know what I'm saying, will cook for you, and the aunties, and everybody's happy to meet you. Yeah, I would think that generally outside of, you know, Black culture, they would kind of sort of have a little bit more intact families. When you start dealing more within, you know, Black culture, our families are generally a little bit more broken. Like, you know, like, yeah, single mom, you know, raise, you know, the child and stuff like that. But as far as the women specifically, any real major differences, it's nothing outside of what you don't already see. Really. Like, you'll see that Black women can be very much more outward in how they go at being, you know, like more aggressive and kind of like, you know, doing the disrespectful stuff. And I guess you could say, well, white girls is more sneaky, but they'll do the exact same thing. They just won't be outright with it. They'll just be more like more covert. They'll be more underhand with it. More covert. They'll still do it. You know,
they're more they're definitely more covert. Sisters,
definitely
are just more open, but they're a lot.
They're just outright with it. Sisters just outright with it. You know, they just play
sneaky.
a different defense.
They're sneaky, maybe more passive aggressive. You know,
they run a blitz.
They run a blitz. Yeah. Right.
White girls run his own.
I don't know if the Ingram experience is still around. We're gonna do a show. I'm gonna do a show tomorrow talking about the spirit of the hyena. And Chris, the spirit of the hyena means to me that just like a hyena, you know, I'm a Leo, you know, and Leos are very strong, bold, courageous, stand firm in their convictions. But most hyenas can't see a male lion one-on-one. He would get destroyed. But Chris, true to form, what happened a couple of minutes ago, hyenas come in packs, or hyenas sometimes come on dummy missions to try to stop the lion. And when that happens, Chris, he got to get that. He got to get that fire for
your mind. The kosher clinician.
Lions don't tolerate hyenas, but the hyena spirit, Chris, talks about the androgyny that you tend to see, Chris, in some men. They might have the physical parts of a man, but they have the mental hard drive of a woman, meaning they're very dichotomous. They're binary. They got women parts when it comes down to their mentality, but physically, Chris, they have the appendages of a man. What does it mean to you about having the spirit of the hyena? And do some try to shame men into not having power, in your opinion?
Well, that's the culture of the hyena. That's how they kind of run that operation. That's how they break it down, is where they keep the male hyenas in a subservient position, and basically the female hyenas run the pack. And you know, the male hyenas are usually like the little trolls that run around and basically serve them. You know what I mean? And from what I know, there's some way about how they make them eat last, or they make them eat a certain way, or they don't get fed as much, so they are usually smaller than the women hyenas. So it's crazy. Even in animal kingdom, they have all these underhanded ways on how they, you know, even, you know, keep the males at a subservient or at less than position. You know, even in the animal kingdom, you know what I'm saying? You know, the female effery has no bounds. You know what I'm saying? So even out there in the wild, you know, it can be some foolishness going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for the hyenas. Shout out to them.
I feel bad for them too, because I don't tolerate them on my channel, man. I would rip them apart. You know, I'm gonna say this in a few minutes. We gotta go, Chris. I gotta go. I got a lot going on, as you know.
No problem. Same here.
Pass away, and I need to reflect at some point. But Chris, the right to self-determination basically means, Chris, you live your life on your own terms, free of shame and guilt. The right to self-determination, Chris, means you live your life on your own terms, free of shame and guilt. What has been your backlash to exercising, Chris, your right to self-determination? What has been the backlash, Chris, that you have experienced as it relates to exercising your right, Chris, to self-determination as a man?
Well, first of all, just to top that off, one of my main mottos I live by is you move forward in life with no doubt, no guilt, no shame. If somebody's speaking against what you're trying to do in life, they're not with you. They're definitely against you, and they're in your way, and you need to get around that object. As far as what backlash I've actually gotten, to be honest, I haven't gotten really much backlash, you know what I mean? Or I just haven't paid attention to it, because I say what I mean, I put it out there. And if somebody's not on my side about what I got to say, I don't really entertain a debate and argument with people to try to force them into why it is, you know what I'm saying, we do what we do. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not with us, if they don't understand, I will have the conversation, as far as I'll give you the information. But basically, in this realm, you know, and how we discuss this, I'm the teacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm the sensei, right? Just like you had to demonstrate how you are running this platform. If somebody's going to have that conversation with me, look, I'm going to give you the information. We'll talk about it. But I'm not going to sit here and try to prove to you or make you feel as though I need to entertain you on why I do what I do. Like, I'm not sitting here and have to prove myself as to why I travel. You know, SYSBM, it's about saving yourself, black man. That's what it's about. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's about the best option that you can find. Maybe it's here for you in the States, maybe so, but it's the best option. At least you know that there are opportunities out there, and you don't never have to feel like you're trapped in this continental United States. You always have an option, and that's the main thing that SYSBM is about. So most people, they support what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because my mentality is kind of ironclad. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people, when we have the conversations, they're like, hey, bro, you want one? You right. A1. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because I can explain my points thoroughly when we have the conversations, to where they're just like, makes sense. And I'm like, there you go. So, you know, if somebody does want to debate and they want to smoke, it ain't going to be a long conversation. That's just what it is.
No doubt.
That's just what it is.
Hold tight, Chris. Marcus Monroe, if you want to come on, you got the cam up, brother. It must be an issue with your device. We got a few minutes, Chris. This has been an awesome conversation.
Facts.
And, you know, the question remains, Chris, what were some of your struggles as it relates to getting feminine women? What were some of your struggles? And we're going to sign off in about a few minutes, because I got another show for you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. Me and the Ingram Experience did a powerful show together. And it's talking about heteronormative masculinity, but something him and I've talked about specifically, it's the spirit of the hyena. The rise of the hyena spirit is very paramount, Chris, in this culture that we live in. And it seems like it's getting stronger and stronger, because we don't have enough male lions and enough masculinity in this society and culture to bring balance to the force. What's your take on that?
Well, you asked about some of the struggles I had. I think if I wanted to actually kind of categorize and just wipe it all with a broad brush, I talked about on one of my last videos how, you know, I was moving from place to place all the time through high school. I grew up military. I came from a military family. So I was always having to be adaptable and shift cultures. I'm not necessarily from one. I never stayed in one neighborhood, you know, like that. I'm not from a particular, you know, one specific place. So for me, I could say that I've always been culturally somewhat different. You know what I mean? Like, when one of my things, honestly, I was one of those, you know what I'm saying, dudes that's like, when I would get around black girls, you know, even when I was coming up in military schools, I was one of those dudes who seemed like an outsider, because I was hanging with all the dudes who, you know, we was, you know, wearing skate shoes before it was dope. We was wearing the Etnies, the Vans, and all that, the Osiris's. You know what I'm saying? We was doing skate stuff and anime and all that stuff, and watching Dragon Ball and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, before it was cool. You know what I mean? Now it's cool and everybody just does it. But we was the ones who had to go through that, like when I was in middle school and stuff like that. So I was always culturally imbalanced with the average black chick, because she would be all into, you know, sitting around talking about something that happened on BET and other stuff like that, little Bow Wow, you know, back then and all that. And I just, you know, the guys I hung with, we just weren't really into that. And that's why also I was, you know, I started developing my art skills. I started focusing on other stuff, developing my art skills, being focused on what it is I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I have my trophies back here on the wall. You know what I'm saying? I do this thing, you know, I do this thing called art. So when I moved around, I was culturally imbalanced, because even when I would, you know, talk to Latinas, it just was like, because when I got out to El Paso, it was just kind of the same thing. It was just kind of like I had to go through this level of, well, you're not from here, so we got to kind of figure you out situation. It was never really just automatic. Sometimes it was automatic, but, you know, overall, there was this process of having to adapt to a different culture. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of brothers are apprehensive to travel, is because they've never had to adapt to a culture outside of theirs. You know what I'm saying? They've never had to go out of their own city sometimes. And it's just like, when you're not acclimated to that, that's going to be something that is going to be intimidating to you. It's going to be an intimidation factor, which is why a lot of brothers feel like they can't do better. They can't achieve higher things. Like, you could give somebody like, hey bro, all you got to do is get this degree or get this certification, do this, and you could be making six figures. No, that ain't how I get down. Fine, stay in the hood. So because it's an intimidation factor. Brothers rather be comfortable than challenge themselves. And that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like I said, you are content with being in a subservient position. That's why the women treat you the way they do, and that's why they pick the way they do. Like I said, that's the culture. It's for you as a black man to be subservient and come number two to your woman. And you know how we have proof of that? Who are the politicians talking to when they talk to somebody in the black community? Cardi B,
right?
Who's really not even black. Why are they talking to Cardi B?
Well, she's Boricuan. I mean, what you call it? She's a Morena. She has African roots. But I know what you're saying.
I understand that. But my main point to drive that home is they're looking at what is considered, the politicians outside the black community are looking into the community of where they see the power. Black men, they see you as weak and subservient and coming second to your woman. That is an issue. Because these politicians and people outside the community, who they going to? Oprah, Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? They're not talking to black men, which is why different brothers in this space are in the space of Red Pill who are speaking this. It's almost like such a, you know what I mean? It's catching people off guard. Like, what? Black men are speaking? Black men have an opinion? This is why other races of men look at you as weak, black man. It's because these are the type of women, not only do you choose, but also you choose to have them lead you. That's disrespectful to yourself, and then other races of men look at you as being less than because you accept less than standards in everything you do. Black man, it's time to raise your standards, elevate your mindset, stop thinking, oh, that's nerdy, that ain't hood, I can't do that. Listen, brothers, you can do more than be hood and dribble a basketball. I promise you. There's more work to be done than just talking about how many hoes you racked up and how many shots you got up at the YMCA. There's more to life.
You're right, and Chris, that's excellent. You talked about that. Actually, I was with Lapeef, and I was with Sage talking. There was some consternation. Actually, I was on a panel when Kevin Samuels was up, and they were talking about the image of the black man. And we do have to change the image. I think it's going to take a collective effort. And we need to get ready. We need to get serious about changing our image, how we're presented, because you're right, Chris. They don't see us as anything powerful. Many times they defer that power to the women, and they expect black men just to get in line. Chris, let me run this commercial real quick, brother, and we're gonna shut it down in a minute. But this has been a great show, so hold tight, Chris.
Tell them run it off. I wake up. Yeah. I
up, flex, thumb down now. Check. No drip, this wet. Tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell him run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check. No drip, this wet. Tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell him run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies.
Are you a victim of brokenness and despair? A broken man is a hopeless man, and a hopeless man is a very dangerous man. Many times, many of you young men that are listening come from homes that are very toxic and very dysfunctional. And because of that, many of you have deferred your power in many ways to the point it's led over into your social life and many times led over into your relationships. If you guys are dealing with mental health pathologies, conscious and unconscious, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. That's kosherclinician@gmail.com. It's important that you deal with your mental health in order to be a better person for yourself, your loved ones, and also your community. But because mental health is often stigmatized, many of you often suffer in silence. Don't be a victim in silence. And see me once again at kosherclinician@gmail.com. And I need you guys to remember this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. There are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male. And male mental health is one of those elements that's paramount to the functioning of a man. Be well.
All right, Chris, that was a public service announcement. Can you hear me, Chris? Some said my mic is going in and out. I don't know what's going on.
No. Your mic's not going in and out. It's just that when you turn your head and you kind of pull away from it, it's just that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I probably need to get a stand. You know, can you hear me loud and clear?
Oh yeah, when you're in front of it, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
So Chris, we're gonna end this stream in a minute, but thank you for coming on, Chris, and I'm so proud of you, young man, for living your life on your own terms. You and I talked about Richie Mac in private, and you're a good young man. I respect you highly.
Appreciate you.
Before you leave, man, what did you get from the show, and how's the show been inspirational? Having 2 juggernauts, Al Greeze, and also the travel OG, Richie Mac.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Greeze and Richie Mac. You know what I mean? It's good to see, brothers building who are coming, with like minds. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see, the proof of SYSBM, because you have some naysayers who act like it's not a real thing. And it's brothers ain't really doing what we say we doing. You know what I mean? So it's good to actually see brothers coming together, you know what I mean, in our corner. Whatever we want to call it, Passport Bros, travel, however you want to describe us. We are here. We are making moves. As you can see, Al Greeze is putting movies out. You know what I'm saying? He's making it happen. Brothers are traveling. There are groups. There are different corners. Brothers have these experiences. Like, this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? And, I feel like those who are curious, you know what I'm saying, you can, ask questions and figure it out. But we're definitely here and we're definitely real. So I mean, yeah, it was a good build, man. Like I said, it was good to see, that you finally got the brother Richie Mac up here, man. That was good. And then you also got to see him build with Al Greeze, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
The only thing that caught me off guard is he didn't know who Charles Tyler was. I was like, what? Like, you don't know who Charles Tyler? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all good. I've talked to different brothers who have traveled in different things, who are not very familiar with Charles Tyler, so I don't take it no type of ways, but it is good to see that this space, our corner of the space, of whatever you want to call it, it's good to see that our corner is expanding, and brothers who are like-minded are literally starting to even come more in lockstep, and we're actually making moves, and we also have solutions. That's the biggest thing that naysayers talk about. What are y'all solutions?
Right.
Travel, get your passport. We got brothers who are can teach you about IT, who can teach you how to get your money up with IT, because they travel and they live in these different countries because of IT. And you know what I'm saying? The videos coming out, the travel groups are out here. There's many solutions, man. You just got to pick what works for you.
And one of the solutions, Chris, because people always talk about solutions, would be this. Live your life on your own convictions. Don't feel like you got to be part. Don't feel like you got to be part of always bending to the will of everybody else. You have a limited time on this earth. You don't know when you're going to expire. So live your life on your own terms. Be very intentional about how you live. And be very clear about what you stand for, free of shame and guilt. So that's part of the solutions for the day, because many always say, what are the solutions? Well, you and I laid the solutions out. So this has been another good show, guys. This has been a great show. To the 52 that are watching, share the content. Go check out Chris Strongheart. I call him the conscious crab, the young crab. Well, actually, the conscious crab was my man Gene, but he's a young crab. Go check him out. He's a good young man. He's hardworking. And go check his content out. But also share this content to the 52 that are watching. I need 5 people that are watching to share this content. You guys have been awesome tonight. I know you guys got to get ready for work. It's about 9 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock as I bring it to you live from the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel State. And we're going to sign off. This has been a very trying week for me, as I did lose my sister, but such is life. And because she's gone, it's going to give me more passion to continue to invigorate the brotherhood. So once again, guys, I love you guys. Keep being strong. Keep believing in yourselves as we seek to liberate one man at a time. So, Chris, we're going to sign off, brother. And tune in tomorrow for another classic, because we're going to be talking about the spirit of the hyena. So, once again, we're going to sign off. And before we sign off, I told you guys once again that there are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become optimized. And world travel is one of those elements to help men become the better version of themselves. So, once again, shout out to Al Greeze. Shout out to Richie Mac. Shout out to the Ingram experience, and shout out to the young lion, or the young crab. He ain't a lion, he's a crab. Chris Strongheart. So, yeah, Chris, I couldn't give you that dubious title, man. You got to earn that royalty. But we're about to sign off. Be good.
like I work in finance. God bless, no, it's not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me now by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Vanish, I slide out landings, beat up Benji, all black like that. 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got God's gift, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Vanish, I slide out landings, beat up Benji, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Vanish, I slide out landings, beat up Benji, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Watch out for those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no. Need no snakes, no only homies down for show. On go. Get a book and get the front end, we load up and roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no. I'm a pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a winner. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock hard waste, man, why you dumb? I'm with airline, we on airlines like we on the run. I'm with Tay, girls run up on me, they done. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my.
Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. Ah yeah, every time I come around you, baby girl, something doesn't feel the same. You said that I'm changing, but it's really you. I see how you play those games. Wifey type for a maid man. A queen can make moves, a king can. Snatch you up, now you taking. Gave you bricks, now you building a wall up. Lately you and I been all love. I don't know what's up with our love. You forgetting all about us. Oh, my jolie, oh my jolie. Where are you when I need you the most? You still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting. Girl, you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something. Now you talking, telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? Telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? Oh, my jolie, oh. Marjorie, oh Marjorie. You don't turn on me now. You don't get no time for me now, babe. Got him on a rebound, but it's only you that I like, babe. Tout ce que j'ai fait c'était pour toi. Sur le haut parle mais t'écoutes pas. Tu me vois crever mais tu bouges pas. Pourquoi? Whoa, yo, wall up. You can't even get the scars up for us. I don't know what's up with our love. You're forgetting all about us. Oh, my jolie, oh my jolie, where you been? When I need you the most, you still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting, girl, you got me. This is called the bluffing, need you something, now you talking. I call you bluff, telling me to cool it up. How can I cool it up? Telling me to cool it up. How can I cool it up? My jolie, oh my jolie. Girl, you got me. Called your bluff, ain't made you something. Now you talking. You telling me to cool it up. How can I cool it up? Telling me to cool it up. How can I cool it up? I don't know how to cool it up. My jolie, oh my jolie.
I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grabbed my hand, gave me a notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, he's my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubbles still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bare face. Now he's got a hell behind the water's cold case. I wake up with pain sometime and never go away. Wonder why I bow down to my knees when I pray. In my city gritty, gotta keep it on your waist. Or you might be a victim, they'll find you DOA. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry.